shit. Oh my gosh, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just... So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
So I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-putting production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello and welcome back. Sorry we missed you guys last week. Today is Sunday, November 7th, 2021, and I'm David. This is Eric. Together we are Derek, and we are here to discuss all that's been going on in the last couple of weeks in the world of Tesla. And as you can see, it's time to buckle up for the news. So I will safely buckle up, and we'll start chatting about Tesla.
Did you have a little trouble with the seatbelt there?
A little bit, yeah. It's got that.
Yeah, you pulled it a little too hard.
The safety feature.
Oh, what's up, everybody? No mic.
What?
Wait, seriously?
My
did we
mic's
just
on, isn't it?
Did we just do
You
all
forgot to
that
turn
with
it
no?
off?
No, I got mic.
Maybe you don't have a mic.
I have a mic. It says it's here. Can you guys hear? Okay.
What?
Thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay.
Hello? Testing.
Could you guys hear us? Okay.
Mic is good.
Mic is good. Okay, so
Thanks,
we're getting
Diego.
trolled. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Anywho, sorry we weren't here last week. Busy week. But wow, it's been a long 2 weeks. It feels like because so much
So much happened.
so much has happened.
I guess we'll jump right into it, and then we'll just kind of hang out. And
As typical, yeah, we'll go through the news
yeah.
in the beginning, try to limit the questions, and then we'll discuss things. And when we do finish the news, we'll go ahead and open up to questions and answers, and we'll just chat and hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
But the big news, well, at least for those waiting orders, is that the 2020 VINs for Tesla's
2022,
sorry, have finally started. In the past, Tesla didn't typically switch those over until the end of the year. Then a couple years back, they started doing it in October. But this year, it looks like they started right at the beginning of November, at least for the Model 3 and the Model Y. We haven't seen any 2022 VINs yet for the S or X yet. And so they also did something interesting, is they have changed the first 3 digits, have always been like, 5YJ for Tesla. And that was, for their passenger vehicles, whatever. But now they've changed the first 3 to 7SA for like MPVs, which is probably going to be for the Model Y and the Model X. And I think the reason they've done that is because of potential tax credit changes. Vehicles have to be classified as an SUV, and so by having that VIN, it'll be a lot easier for that classification to be verified. They've also changed some other digits. Digit 8, they've just added some different motor numbers. Digit 10 is the letter N if it's a 2022 model car. It used to be a M for 2021, and they've added changed the 11th digit, has now an A for vehicles that will be produced at the Austin factory. If it's an F, then that means it's still produced in Fremont. So,
what is China's letter?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I don't have that listed.
Okay, I was just curious if you knew.
Yeah, but they do have different VINs there. But also, there's been also some interesting revelations. It looks like some people discovered that the Berlin factory will have new red, blue, and silver paint colors, and we don't have any confirmation yet as to if those will be available at the vehicles that are produced at the Austin factory, or even Fremont. We don't know. But definitely interesting that Tesla will be bringing back some colors, and we'll talk about some other colors later on when we talk about price increases. Also, with the 2022 versions, at least in the updated owner's manual that is out, we've been talking about the 2021 Plus models S, which has been out since June. 2021 Model X, there was at least 5 of those delivered, maybe a few more, but it looks like there will be some more of those deliveries later this week. But we've seen some changes to the owner's manual since the car was first released. Originally, we were talking to you in the past about the tilting mechanism for the screen and how the mechanism's there, but there's no motors. It looks like Tesla has actually updated the EPC, like the parts catalog, and they have now a new mechanism in there. And I believe the motors, or that they were using before, the mechanism was similar to the exact same part they were using for adjusting seats. And so Tesla's trying to reuse those parts in different parts of the car, which is interesting. But it sounds like there may have been an issue with using those for the screen. So it looks like they've redesigned the part, and so that's something coming probably in the 22 models of the S and X.
Yeah, we actually haven't dived into our Plaid yet to see if everything is there, but I know one of my friends who took delivery of a very early Plaid. He was told that the motors are there, but they were trying to work on them still to make them quieter because I guess it was very loud. I don't know. That was just from a tech. So I guess take that with a grain of salt. But it's been reported lately that most cars just don't have them installed. So it's just kind of static there. Now, we would love to see those motors actually be there. Will they actually retrofit this? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to bother retrofitting it for people that don't have it.
And maybe if you put up a big stink or something like that.
Maybe.
But who knows? Or maybe they'll offer it as a package. But
yeah,
we'll discuss that a little bit more when we get to questions and answers. But another thing we saw with the Model X this past week is that they have updated the ranges again. So originally when it was first announced, it was supposed to be getting 360 miles. Then it went down to 351. And they've totally adjusted it so that depending on what you order, depending on the number of seats, 5, 6, or 7, also the type of wheels, and whether it's Plaid or not a Plaid, it will affect the range. Also, they changed the naming on most of the vehicles, so the X no longer has a long range. The S no longer has a long range. Even, I believe, on the 3 and the Y, they've totally changed it. So it's interesting that they're changing all the names for the 2022 models. And even, I guess, the 2021 Pluses or whatever for the S and X.
Exactly. So the Model 3 here, they just took away standard range or anything about that, and now it just the rear wheel drive is just called the Model 3. You still have the long range and performance variant, which is kind of interesting because if you jump over to Model X.
Okay, so you do still have a long range for that, but not on the X.
On
or
X,
the S.
the long range, or what was used to be slated the long range, now just says Model X, and then there's Model X Plaid. But you can see here that range estimate is 332 with the 22s, 351 with the 20-inch, and then that's with the 5-seater, and you can actually see it estimates here the 6-seater drops it by what, 3 miles?
Yeah, if you scroll back
and
up,
the 7-seater drops it by an additional
so
mile.
it shows it right there too. Yeah.
So I mean that's interesting. It's all about weight. It really is. That's what we've really noticed a lot with EVs. Is weight is not a great thing when you're like bulking a car full of people and everything. Don't expect to get your like estimated range. But yeah, it was interesting how they got rid of the long range variant. That sparked a lot of rumors, potential things coming up.
Definitely see sometime in the future, maybe sometime in 2022, maybe they will have a long range, at a few cells, because it sounds like they've been able to the last year model what they had with 2022 Raven, it was able to get a higher range than 360.
Yeah.
But it had a slightly larger battery, so they basically kept the range about the same, but reduced the battery and optimized the motors and a few other things like that.
Which is kind of a bummer. I wish they would have kept the battery
'cause
a little bit bigger and given us a little bit more range, especially on like the X.
Where a lot of people are going to be towing, and you want as much range as possible. So if you're going to be towing something, it might take twice as much, energy to tow that. And so really, you're going to be maybe getting 180 or so instead of 360. So definitely, people are wanting a 400+ mile range estimated on the Model X.
Exactly. Next up, so this has been huge in the news recently.
And we've been talking about this, waiting 7 months
long
for the tax credit on EVs to come back.
Yeah, so it is still not finalized. However, there's been a lot of foreign ambassadors speaking out against the U.S. government willing to give a higher incentive to cars built in the U.S.
And built by unions, because these other companies don't have them. And even like Honda, they build their cars in non-union factories, I believe in Tennessee and other states in the United States. And
it's not just Tesla that would be affected.
There's lots of, Honda, Toyota, these other manufacturers that don't have unions either for the U.S. manufacturing. So it's kind of unfair to those manufacturers that they're not able to get the full tax credit. So it is interesting, though, to see that we're not the only ones complaining about it, that foreign ambassadors and other governments are complaining about it, and they're saying that this is against like international trade laws to have those requirements on there for that tax credit.
Exactly. And again, we don't fully know what will happen or anything like that, but I will say that as it looks right now, Model S and X probably won't qualify for anything because they'll be too expensive. Again, I don't agree with the whole price limit because any EV is a good EV. That's kind of how I view it. So I don't like the price limit thing that's going on, but there is that to keep in mind. But any like potential 3s and Ys should qualify. So that'll be interesting to see. And I know I've seen a lot lately of people online saying, hey, I'm delaying my order. But think of it this way. Like, I know several people have canceled their order and reordered, but they canceled an order that was like $8,000 less because of all the price increases lately. So when you think about it, they're like gonna break even now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and that's
you need to weigh out like what the current price is and what could potentially come. That could be totally taken off the table by the time it gets approved.
And so while it's unfortunate we don't think the S and X will qualify, we were able, at least with our S and X that we have ordered last 2020 at the end of the year, beginning January of 2021, while we won't get the tax credits most likely, we are still at an older price book or whatever. So I think the price has gone up nearly $20,000 on those vehicles since we put in our order. So we're not going to save all of that, but I think we're saving like $18,000 or something based upon the initial prices. A tax credit would be welcome as well, but I don't think it's going to happen. Just with the current price limits.
And also, Kevin made a good point. Welcome to chat. He said price limits are dumb for true EVs when hybrids are part of this. That's one thing. What is up with that? Like almost hybrids can almost get more than a Tesla could.
I don't know if it's changed because, again, nothing's finalized. But when I was seeing stuff a few weeks back, it's like a hybrid with a very tiny battery got a full tax credit, whereas a Tesla, which could have like a 10 times larger battery gets a much smaller tax credit. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Real quick, Pierre, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. It said, took delivery of my white-on-white Model S finally.
Oh, congrats.
One
Wow.
issue, though, car reboots repeatedly while supercharging. Therefore, I can't
That's
even use the
weird.
theater. Yeah, we haven't seen that. I think I saw that you sent me a thing on Twitter. But I didn't know, like, just, like, repeatedly while supercharging. That's odd.
Yeah, we haven't seen that before.
I haven't seen that. I would definitely fill out, like, a service request for that. Because I'm not familiar with that one.
But yeah, congrats on finally taking delivery. We're still
And it's a white interior.
Yeah, we're still waiting on ours. We do still have an estimated range sometime in November. Our dates actually changed, 3 different date ranges in the past week. So it's still sometime in the second half of November. So we're crossing our fingers, but not holding our breath. So.
Yeah, exactly. More confetti. I accidentally left that on. Other news. I'm sure everyone has seen this because of the Tesla stock price and where we're all at. The Hertz deal with 100,000 Tesla purchase went and was announced. What was that? About 2 weeks ago.
Just about 2 weeks ago.
And it's pretty interesting to see all that because there's some interesting parts to that. Rental terms, you have to return the Tesla with at least 10% charge or they will get you kind of like what they do for like gasoline vehicles. If you bring it back too low, they'll ding you, and for their time and everything, it's probably going to cost a lot more. It's going to be mostly at airports, and superchargers are supposed to be installed at their location.
And I think that's what they're
And
going to be
high-power
using when you
chargers.
return a car. They're going to
Exactly.
install those so they'll be able to charge them back and get them up on the road. But it sounds like you can still use the cars to supercharge, and they'll just add it to your account. So they're not going to
Yes.
cover the bill.
They'll bill you later.
It'll be onto theirs, and then they can instantly see how much, and then just apply that pass the charge onto you. So it's interesting. Something else that was announced, of course, right after the 100,000 cars is that Hertz said they were going to be partnering with Uber for 50,000 Tesla rentals. So that was interesting. And I've seen some, I don't know if it's misinformation or confusion, but some people were saying, okay, that's 150,000 total, or some people were saying, no, that's 100,000 for Hertz, 50,000 of which would be used by Uber. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen the final discussion on that. Again, as Elon said, there's no signed contract. And it's kind of weird that, the Tesla stock price has actually gone up like $436 in the past month, even with all the tweets that Elon's been doing. Because he, the stock.
But I'm curious tomorrow.
That's why I said that's another.
Because
tweets.
Elon tweet storming about his Twitter poll whether or not he should sell 10% of his shares to be able to pay taxes or to like be taxed because he's not is just kind of like.
I mean, he is like the wealthiest man alive, but it's like.
But it's stupid.
He doesn't
like,
need to be
don't
sending out
give
these
that
tweets that are
to
causing the stock prices to drop.
That's not a Twitter world decision. That is
Yeah.
something he needs to make and needs to look at potential consequences of his actions and everything because it doesn't just affect him or investors, but it could also affect Tesla. I don't want him diluting himself out. I think that's stupid. He shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
But yeah. So anyways, be interesting to see the stock price tomorrow, but it probably won't be that great, but we'll see. But I definitely wouldn't be taking people's financial advice via Twitter versus,
Oh God, no.
But, oh well. But again, I'm not the richest man alive, so.
I mean, I tweet about some stuff occasionally, but I would never take the advice of a Twitter poll on whether or not I should sell $20 billion worth of stock. I don't think that is the greatest decision, but here we are.
So big news last week, though. So that was 2 weeks ago for Hertz. Big news last week was that the Tesla is opening up Supercharging network to other cars finally. They finally officially did it, opening it up to 10 locations in the Netherlands, kind of less used locations. And they're just doing it on a pilot program, trial basis to see how it works out. And there were several rules posted saying, park within the lines, don't block, other cars from charging. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of pictures posted over the past week where people aren't paying attention. We've seen Mach-E's and Audis, and they're just parking all over, like perpendicularly, or they're blocking, 2 parking spaces and stuff like that. So the cords, the power cables like this were not built.
It's literally that exact
They were
length.
not built to reach all the way over to where the charge ports are on like a Ford Mach-E or an Audi e-tron and stuff like that. And they're optimized for Tesla vehicles, which are all in the same part of the car. So Eric, I think, has a picture showing where they're located. But
I want to talk about this. There's some stuff here. So Luke posted this on Twitter, said it works charging the Ford Mach-E on a Tesla supercharger, which is great. However, this is a pull-in spot, so technically the whole back half of his vehicle is in the roadway. It is kind of what it is. And then here, Spotted Model 3 posted this called Frenemies. I kind of like this. And if you look, here's the issue. It's like, okay, cool, they're supercharging, all is good, but Tesla's charge on the back left, which means this supercharger right here would be unusable to any Tesla because it is now being blocked by, I believe there's a VW. Yeah, VW, which is charging on this one. So that is kind of a bummer. And then I agree with this person who posted on Twitter, can you remove supercharging access for Audi drivers? They can't read and their charge port's in a stupid location because for them to reach it, they basically have to park parallel. And then
and a bad thing about this, so I'll just cut in really quick.
Oh yeah.
But bad thing about this is, Tesla does have like real-time statistics showing how many superchargers are in use. The problem is when you have a car blocking 2 or 3 stalls at an 8 supercharger site, you might think, okay, there's 4 or 5 stalls available. You get there, you might find there's actually 4 Audis all plugged in, parked perpendicularly, and you can't charge at all.
Yeah.
And so this is just really poor. It's not going to work the way this is.
Yeah. And so another person on Twitter actually put this together, and a response said Audi, Mach-E, Mini, and Lucid. So anything that's kind of on the back right here or on the front left is going to be pretty tricky to do without some kind of extender cable or something like that. So I'm hopeful that maybe Tesla will be able to put some extender cables, or maybe they'll sell that as an option.
An adapter of some sort. Yeah.
We just can't be having people blocking extra chargers like this. That kind of takes us a step back. And now Tesla has built their supercharging network to accommodate their vehicles, which I believe is what they should have done. So I think, to be honest, this is now going to be the other car manufacturers' deal to make adapters or cable extenders or something to fit their model.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
So it's interesting. Again, this is only at like 10 sites in the Netherlands, and they're not very high traffic, so we're not seeing this problem yet. I saw somebody else posted a picture from some place, I think in like Arizona, and they were showing like a Nissan Leaf plugged in. I was like, no, that's not really charging.
Yeah.
They had an adapter, like the Electron adapter we have, that can connect to a Tesla wall connector. But if you hook that up to a supercharger, it's not going to have that. It's not going to be able to speak the supercharger protocol, so that car's not going to charge. So if somebody tries that, they're either uninformed and they're trying it to see if it works, which it won't, or they're just trying to make it appear
they're trolling
and they're trying to make it appear that they're charging, and they're allowed to park there when it's only for cars that are actively charging. So it's not yet anywhere else in the world except for these 10 sites in the Netherlands. It will expand eventually, but hopefully Tesla can take this as get some knowledge off of this and come out with some of those adapters. And
they definitely need to look into this before they roll it out anymore. I would say, because this could be, I could see this causing a lot of chaos in California.
Yeah,
where superchargers are already kind of backed up.
Yeah.
If you get people blocking them, this is not going to end pretty.
So another thing too, just with this, is that Tesla did update the tesla.com/findus website, and so there's a little filter now at the bottom that lets you see that which stations are open to other vehicles, other EVs. And it's nice, but the symbol is very similar, isn't it? Like, they could have done a better job with
instead of just being a lightning bolt, it's a lightning bolt with 2 squigglies on the left and 2 squigglies on the right.
They could have done a better job with a more
They should have done
symbol.
A poop emoji.
Exactly. Something that's obvious. Because it's just like, it's pretty close. But anyways, now they have that, but again, it only shows up at those stations.
Yep. Real quick, few super chats to catch up on. One, Yoke Tesla, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said Elon wanted to sell. It was all a plan. Elon's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He knew the outcome before posting the poll. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just sell it and just be like, I don't got to tell you anybody anything. Because that could hurt the stock price before he sells, unless he already sold. And then Pierre with another $5 super chat.
Thanks again, Pierre.
Said, by the way, the white interior does not have the black trim around it, and I took delivery without cargo covers. So the black trim is only for plaid vehicles, I believe.
On like the
piping.
yeah, on the seats and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah.
And then the cargo covers, I've heard several other people, and they've all put that on their due bill. Tesla was shipping cars without those because they didn't have stock yet at the factory. And they didn't want to hold up a whole vehicle for that. But definitely put that on there because you are due a cargo cover for sure. And then our last $5 super chat, Mando X Games, welcome to chat, said, did you guys get 10.4 for FSD beta? And if so, have you noticed any difference from the previous version?
Negative.
We are still stuck on 10.3.
10-4, good buddy. Okay, never mind. No, we didn't.
Wait, let's zoom in on you and do that one more
I'm not
time.
gonna say that again.
Anyway, we haven't gotten 10.4 yet. As soon as we do, I will throw a party. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that have gotten it locally, so maybe I'll try to hang out with some of them soon. And
So we're
check it
talking
out.
about supercharging. We'll talk a little bit. Tesla has actually released a new J1772 wall connector. Well, it's not really new, and it's really quite odd because we've seen this before at some supercharger sites. There's one over, I don't know if it's Tahoe City, someplace close to Lake Tahoe. They have superchargers, and then they have wall connectors that are available for non-Tesla cars to charge. And so somebody noticed that Tesla now offers this, but it's a Gen 2, which really kind of went away years ago.
Yeah.
But they brought this out. You know, they've been deploying it at certain places, also at some hotels, some locations like that. But it can only charge, I believe, at up to 40 amps. And so if you read like the fine print, it says you can't do load balancing with the older Gen 2 ones, which we have. So we have a wall, all of our Gen 2 wall connectors, signature Elon Musk wall connectors, can charge it up to 80 amps. These can only go up to 40. And so if you try to connect these and do the load sharing, it's going to throw a warning saying, sorry, it can only be load shared with other 40 amp wall connectors. So I think it can only be used with maybe some of those. Remember the plug-in one that we had? That plugs into a 1450 outlet, then you can load share. But it's kind of a weird product because if you can't load share it with most other Tesla wall connectors, this means this is really kind of a standalone product for people who don't own Teslas to buy. And so it's for people who have like an Audi e-tron or something like that, that it charge with a Tesla product. So it's an interesting kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, now on here it does say Tesla recommends installing with a 50 amp circuit breaker for maximum power output, but like above, it does say 40 amp to a single vehicle. And then it says for owners with multiple electric vehicles, up to 4 Gen 2 J1772 wall connectors can share available power, making it possible to charge multiple vehicles at home. Power sharing is only possible when connected to other Gen 2 J1772. So it's not like we could mix those like what we have.
So it's like for non-Tesla owners that have multiple EVs that want to do load balancing. So that is, there are some other products out there from others, but they usually cost a lot more. So Tesla is coming in with like a lower price product. So that will help them out. And then maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, we liked our wall connector. Let's buy a Tesla. I don't know.
It may be. But the funny thing is when they buy a Tesla, it's going to have the J1772.
And then they'll
instead of the Tesla connector. So it's just like...
But also it's going to be limited to 40, whereas if you put in the regular wall connector Gen 3, it will go to 48, or if you had an older Gen 2, it could go up to 80.
I would actually really like is if Tesla did a version of this, but maybe had 2 cables or something.
Yeah,
and
again, that's
could
what
like load balance it.
It would be nice if they had load balancing, because right now it's a very limited audience, because you would have to buy multiple ones of these to do any load. So anyways, new product
Alas,
there.
here we are. It's still cool though that they're pushing out new products. Could this mean that J1772 will eventually come to
replace
Teslas?
the Tesla charge port? Maybe.
Maybe this is a sneak peek.
Because those who don't know, with CCS, the top of it is J1772, and there's those extra 2 pins for the DC charging down below.
Yeah. So interesting thought, nonetheless.
Only thing is like there's not really room on the current Model S or the Model X for the larger CCS charge port.
They could redesign the tail light.
Yeah, which we've been talking about for years, and they still haven't done it yet. But hopefully one of these days.
Yep. Next up, new firmware has been pushed out. It is called 2021.40. Which one are we on?
We're still on like .36.5.3 or something like that. So we're only like a few versions behind. But since we have the FSD beta on the Plaid, it's usually gonna be a little bit behind. So we're not gonna get these features probably for a few more weeks. But some of the features on that, just a second, I just lost the screen. There's questions. I don't know. Somebody saw in the release notes that is supposed to finally support active noise reduction, but I haven't seen it if that's really. I haven't seen it reported if that's really available yet, but it might finally turn that on. And
I thought I heard somewhere that it was listed there, but someone dove into the code and it's still listed as off.
So let us know if you do have that version.
Yeah, definitely.
If you do have the active noise, the option to turn active noise cancellation or reduction. It's not cancellation, it's reduction.
Oh,
so
yeah.
see if you have that option to turn it on. But also it adds a Tidal streaming app, and Tidal in the past has been known for like lossless, streaming. So it'll be interesting to see is it still lossless, or is it just going to be still a reduced bandwidth? I don't know.
So I'm unfamiliar. What is Tidal?
It's just another.
Is it like
service,
Netflix?
But it's supposed to be higher quality.
Oh.
So for those, a lot of people complain about
the
CDs,
bit rate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Tidal, their big selling point, I think it's from Europe.
Okay.
Their big selling point was that is like much higher bandwidth, much higher quality.
Okay.
And so it was interesting to see Tesla added this, but I don't know if they are adding that full streaming rate or if that's going to only be available like if you're doing it over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So it might be they still bump it down if you're doing it via cellular, but if Wi-Fi you can do the full bandwidth.
If anyone here has Tidal, drop like some shows that you like to watch below on Tidal, and maybe we'll check it out.
Yeah, so also in 2021.40, sounds like the Model S and X refresh, they'll finally have a few more controls for the rear screen. I guess people were, their kids were always messing with the sound or the heating or cooling, stuff like that. So they finally added an option to lock the rear display, which is good. But I still wish they had an option to just turn it off.
Yeah.
Because when I'm sitting back there, I don't need to have the screen lit up all the time or show me stuff. It just seems like that's going to be burning
Extra power use.
Yeah, or just burning in
potentially
on the screen, which maybe is not a problem with LCDs as much as in the past. But it's just like if you don't need it, turn it off. And they still don't have the support though for being able to have different audio and being able to sort the to support Bluetooth headsets or anything in the back. But hopefully that's coming in a future software release. Also, though, in the 21.40, more cold weather improvements. I guess it's easier now to defrost the windows and stuff remotely. And also, they've finally added a traffic-aware cruise control chime, which is something that we've never really had in the United States. They added it in China a while back just because I think there was some, I don't know if it was a lawsuit or a government issue with there's no sound. So a lot of people were actually turning on TAC and not knowing it was on. And for those of you who have Tesla, if you do once, it would turn on TAC, do it twice, it turns on autopilot. And so there's no sound on that initial time. So now Tesla will have the option, at least in non-Chinese markets, to turn that on or off. So if you don't like it, you can still go ahead and turn it back off. But if you do want it on, you can turn the chime on, and that way you'll just get a little beep whenever you do that. So you'll know that it's enabled.
Yep. So real quick though, going off what some people mentioned in chat, Tidal is a music streaming service, not video.
Well, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought it was video. My bad. I thought it was like Netflix.
No. It's more like.
Well, then I don't want to try Tidal.
It's more like Spotify or all these others. It's just for
I already
people
have
who wanted
Spotify.
for people who wanted the higher fidelity or the better bit rate. Yeah.
Oh, I see here that the premium is 320 kilobits per second, which they say is good quality. And then for hi-fi, for $20 a month, you can get 1411 kilobits per second, which is a better quality. Or you can even do master sound up to 9200.
Yeah, so I don't
for
think,
the best.
I don't think Tesla's going to support that
No,
over
definitely
data.
not.
Maybe if you're doing over Wi-Fi and you're paying for the data.
Maybe.
But I don't think they're going to offer that full package.
I mean, I have Spotify, and I've been really happy with Spotify, so I'll probably just stick with Spotify and not even try Tidal. Never mind.
Yeah.
Real quick with the $10 super chat, John, welcome to the chat.
Thanks, John.
Said Saturday we had a great Tesla get together event, 100 people or more, giveaway,
Wow.
free Tesla wraps, $300 to $400 gift card, espresso
Wow.
drinks and donuts. I got to taste Tesla tequila, and he has FSD beta 2021.36.8.5. Nice. There will be no Tesla tequila drink here. If you don't watch, check out Twitter and you will see why.
But yeah, so we just couple more news. Then we're wrapping up the news. Then we'll get into more chat and stuff. But for solar for the week, we'll do a quick solar update. We had a couple cloudy days, so we only had 369 kilowatt hours for the week. So it was only 53. So it's getting close to what we see in December for our daily averages. Not the best week, not the worst. But we only had we didn't cover our entire household usage for the week. We used about 60 kilowatt hours that came from our bank. But the good thing is we still have over 5,000 kilowatt hours surplus for the year. And for the year, we're at 131% offset for the year. So we just are killing it on our solar production. And since we do have that 5,000 plus kilowatt hours, that will help cover us into November, December, January, February, when we will have a surplus again in next March. So now we're at 103% offset for the lifetime of our solar system. So it's just, that shows, if you can read off those numbers there, we have covered or generated enough to cover our household usage for the last 3+ years and then some.
Yay for solar.
And one last thing, cool thing.
Oh, yo.
We did have an outage last week. Powerwalls kicked in, no problem, which is good. But we had another outage about 2 hours, I think it was a little over a week ago, and we hadn't seen an outage in the new app yet. So it was interesting to see they've added a few new features to the new app, but they also added them to an older app as well. This is the first time we've seen them. But now it gives you like an estimated time up at the top, showing you how many hours it expects. And
Yeah, so you can see here at this point, this is right when he like filmed it. It said 6.5 hours.
Yeah. The only thing is, it was very cautious on, on its estimate, because this was when it first went off, and I knew, calculating things out, that we would be able to go about 13 to 14 hours based upon that 41% that we had left. And as I watched it, it started off saying the 6.5%, but then it gradually went up. And I think the reason why it was being so cautious with the estimate is that Eric's car had just finished charging right as we had the power outage, and so I think it was looking at the past couple hours worth of usage and said, if you continue at this rate, you're only going to be able to last for 6 hours. But then once Eric unplugged and then the average went way down for the rest of the day, it started showing that 14-hour estimate there. Do you have the animation as well? Or
Oh yeah, I just played it.
We did see that this actually has been updated in the old app as well. So we still use the version 3.7 app, and it has now the same estimate has been added there. So yeah, interesting to see. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, definitely kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
But definitely love our Powerwalls. They have gotten us through over 800 something outages so far. But the good news is, since we have our new transformer, we've only had like 4 outages this year, and really 0 outages because the Powerwalls kept us up and running all those times. And those 800 outages we had last year was because of our power company, and we never really lost power. It was just the Powerwalls having to take over 800 plus times last year.
That's a lot.
But that's it for the
It was fun though, because when we did have no power, it was still dark outside. So I did another quick Twitter video for that,
lights, yeah.
and went around and turned on all the lights in the house, so all our neighbors would know we have power.
Yeah. And
So
actually,
they should get solar. It's a great selling point.
Yeah, and I did just run the extension cord again. I messaged the neighbor,
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was only a 2-hour outage, so she didn't really need it. It wasn't that long of an outage.
But it's the thought that counts.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. Well, that's it for the news and everything. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, go ahead and drop it
If we
in the
forgot
comment
something
section.
on the news, there was a lot of stuff going on the last 2 weeks, so definitely let us know what we forgot.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Mark said, I use the rear control panel when I'm riding solo in the rear seat. LOL. What? Wait, what? Mando said, by the way, no money gun, David.
Yeah, they've got one, but I haven't. We'll try it. Let's see.
The money guns have been lacking.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
yeah.
this is like the cheap.
Yeah, I need to find some new ones. So
Or figure out what's wrong with these.
As soon as we
because-
get some new ones, I'll hit you up, Mando. We'll get you some money guns. Real quick though, everyone loves the dog cam. So here's a dog cam.
See, it's like.
So the little puppies are sleeping. Layden had a little issue last week, but she's doing much better.
Yeah.
She had like a splinter in her foot, and it was like in her foot, like 3/4 of an inch. So she had to be on antibiotics and a steroid, but she's doing good now. Her foot is
Yeah.
no longer swollen, and she happy dog.
They're extra tired today because it was really nice weather today, so we took them on like twice as long walk all around town. So they enjoyed that.
Yep. Let's see. Mark said, so people are too blind to see the indicator on the dash for TAC. No amount of auditory feedback can make up for fundamental incompetence.
Yeah, it's still not going to help because if you hear a beep,
Yeah.
you still have to pay attention to know what that is.
He also said, much like sudden unintended acceleration, which people were
Exactly, yeah.
blaming on cars, but it was actually 100% the people stepping on the wrong pedal.
Yeah.
I think Tesla is just trying to put in some safety measures because at the end of the day, everyone's going to try to blame Tesla for stuff. And this is one thing that's never going to stop. And they're trying to do their best to thwart that, I would say. I don't know if they ever can, though, at this point. Someone said, I have a driver score of 100 and still don't have 10.4. Go figure.
Sounds like they're being a lot more cautious
They are.
on this. So I know
And so I tweeted about that earlier, like, what about plaid? And a bunch of people were like, oh, it's because, like, it's rolled out slowly per Elon's message. But I was more going along the lines of when Elon said it's going slowly because of hardware differences. I was mainly asking about the hardware difference, not anything else. So people kind of blew that
And
up.
that's another thing in the past when they first came out with like 10.3, it came out for non-yoke vehicles first, and then it was a few days later, I believe. I think it was on 10.3 or 10.2. Maybe it's 10.2. Because when 10.3, I think it came out relatively right away. But different hardware, so they have to have a slightly different version of the software.
Yep. I imagine they must have a million different branches.
Yeah.
It's probably a nightmare.
Actually, it was on 10.2 because that was when we were waiting for it, and then we didn't get it. And then but when 10.3, when they delayed it till Sunday, and we got it early that morning, but then they had the fiasco where they had to roll it back out and do a recall and stuff. But so I think they're just being more cautious because of that fiasco with 10.3. They're trying to do it better on 10.4.
And a lot more people have it. They need to be a little careful.
The good thing is they're finally, I think Elon said they're going to actually push it to the employees first. So imagine that. Give them 24 hours to test it first.
There you go. Give them 24 hours to try to break it. David said, does anyone know if the 2022 Model Y long range will have new headlights? Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't seen anything on that. No, and the pictures, they still look very similar. But the headlights are different on the S, aren't they? They are different from.
I think slightly, yeah.
So I would assume they would have the same. Well, no, because the X does have different lights, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would hope they would update those. And we did see that they've only delivered a few cars so far, but there are some more. I've seen people do have deliveries scheduled for this week, so hopefully we're getting some updated pictures, and hopefully there'll be some other surprises because when those other 5 were delivered a few weeks back, it was like, oh, the 6-seater still looks exactly the same. And while it says wireless charging available for all passengers, there's no wireless charging available for any of the rear passengers.
Yeah.
So the website to this day still says wireless charging available for all passengers, but they don't offer that. So hopefully we'll be seeing some additional hardware. And
he's very hopeful for that. I will bet $100 you're not going to see anything.
But we've also seen that's why they've delayed, like the 6-seaters.
That's what I would bet.
Supposedly the 6-seaters, the only one that's being produced this year. The 5 and 7-seaters are delayed till next, first quarter, and that's why they've called a lot of those people who had 5 and 7-seaters on order to say, hey, switch over to 6. You can probably get it by the end of the year, but we don't know because we originally had an estimate of August, then we had an estimate of December, and now it's January. We're still hoping we'll get it sometime in 2021, but we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm willing to put $100 on it that you will not see anything extra in the back.
Then we should definitely write a sternly worded letter to complain
I will
about
let
the
you do
lack
that.
of wireless charging.
Anyway, John said, so over in Europe, Model Y tops out at 135. My question is, what does it top out at in the US?
That's all?
Is that 135 miles an hour? Kilometers an hour?
Yeah, it's got to be miles per hour.
I know, I was going to say, if it's kilometers,
what does it say on the... I don't know, because I know with like the S, it's like 155
I think it's like 155. Let's look.
But what's the Y here?
The Y long range is 135. Oh, yeah, so it is 135.
Here. Is that for the Plaid as well? There's
155 for the Y performance. Let's look at Model S. I was about ready to... Model S Plaid is 200?
Yeah.
Guess what I'm doing this weekend, guys?
Can't use that too often, unfortunately.
I have gone more than 135 in a Y, but it was a performance. It wasn't a long range, so...
Yeah.
That's probably why. Mando X Game said, per CNBC, Elon Musk faces a $15 billion tax bill, which is likely the real reason he's selling stock. I thought that tax bill was because of selling stock. Maybe not. I'll have to research
But that's a lot. Yeah. Why do you wouldn't have to sell taxes or pay taxes though that much? I wouldn't think unless you had sold something.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Colorado Model Y, Kevin said, I thought Midnight Silver Metallic not being extra charged was big news.
Oh yeah, we forgot we had that on our list, but we forgot to mention the price changes again.
Yeah,
on the 3 and the Y at least.
Yeah, and also the interesting thing, for Model S and X, the Midnight Silver Metallic is still $1,500, but on Y and Model 3, it is now, you can choose either Pearl White or Midnight Silver Metallic, and it is included in the price. We say included, but there were also some Tesla price increases. But, I mean, if they're going to increase the price to try to recoup some of the money from the Midnight Silver Metallic, why didn't they include any of these others like blue?
I think it's just
Or
people
solid
have been
black.
complaining that they've been offering white, and we've talked about
Yeah.
it for months. They should offer another color. I was saying years ago they should switch the color every year.
Yeah.
To have like a free color, and that way you won't have like 70% of the cars all the same color. And so I think that people have been complaining to Elon, and he did say that they would consider it. And here we go. They finally have made Midnight Silver metallic and no extra cost option, which is good. Glad to see that.
Oh yeah,
Definitely a nice color.
Yep.
I just still wish they would have other colors, and like we talked about, they are going to be having some different colors in Europe, but are we going to see those colors here? We don't know yet.
My guess is we're not going to really see any new colors until Austin.
Yeah.
I don't think Fremont's really going to do too many because
Well, plus whenever
Austin
they do that,
will be a much better facility.
they have to do them in batches too, and so if you're going to have more colors, you have to keep doing smaller batches, and so but if you have another manufacturing facility, then those could be made at that new factory.
Yep. Will said, heard anything on Model X deliveries, how they're going? I'm still showing January on my order. So quick update
Some are happening this
on
week.
ours. We have the Model S long range, which shows November.
But it's no longer a long range.
It shows what? November 13th through the 30th?
Wait, are you talking about the S or the X?
The S.
The S is now the 17th to the 30th. It keeps moving around.
Yeah, it's jumped around a lot lately.
But at least it's back in all in November, because at one time last week it had extended into December for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it was a 4-week range. Now it's back down to 2 weeks, all in November.
Yeah, so fingers crossed we get a 2022 VIN. That would be kind of nice. As far as Model X, our long range, or not just Model X, whatever you want to call it, is still January.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer because we ordered it in December
Of
last year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a full 13 months from order to receive.
Maybe. I'm still optimistic it'll be in December. They're going to have the end of the quarter rush. Even though they said no more end of quarter rushes, hopefully they will be pushing that out. And, Tesla did call a lot of people, got them to upgrade from a 5 or 7 seater, paying that additional cost, either $3,000 or $6,500 to upgrade, saying, oh, we'll have it by the end of the year. And now it's like, oh, well, maybe you won't.
A lot of those people are now actually reporting January or February.
Yeah, but
so that's kind of frustrating.
But I don't think. I don't want to sound whatever, but those people shouldn't jump to the front of the line, because we've had a 6-seater on order
for 13 months.
For almost
11
since December of last year. So it's just like, yeah, if they only ordered a 5 or 7, and now they're paying. I don't know. It seems like they should still kind of fill them in the order in which they were ordered.
Agreed.
But some people are scheduled to have delivery later this week, so hopefully we'll start getting some news on the new Model X to see if anything else has changed. Because when it first came out in those first 5, the little the piece that goes above, or it's down below the Falcon Wing doors, and it says Model X, it only was on one side. But it sounds like that was just because, I don't know if they didn't have the parts or what, but I believe that will be coming on both sides now, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Not a big thing, but I'm sure there will be other changes as well. So I think those 5 will be very unique.
Definitely. Pete said, I got FSD beta 10.4 last night. It's not as good as 10.31 for me. Be very careful with this one. So I heard a lot of the phantom braking has disappeared, which sounds nice. But again, I haven't been able to test it because we're just on our lonely little 10.3 island over here.
But we didn't talk about it yet today, though. But we still have the Model S100D, and we told you a month ago how we signed up, we opted in for the FSD beta. We tried for weeks to maintain the score, and then it finally came out that none of those cars that originally came with Autopilot 2 are going to be getting the FSD beta until they get the cameras upgraded. And so Elon tweeted that out. So a lot of people tried scheduling the camera upgrades through the service centers, and the service centers just been canceling all those because they don't have the upgrade package figured out yet. And so again, we do have a car that originally came with Autopilot 2. It was upgraded to Autopilot 3, their full self-driving computer. We even upgraded some of the cameras ourselves like over a year ago. And so while the color is better there, especially on Sentry mode, we don't have, there's a little flag on the software in the firmware that says like uses RCCC cameras or uses RCCB cameras, and so that's the software change that's necessary. And service centers won't flip that switch right now because they'll get in trouble if they do these unapproved changes. And so they need to come out with an official process on flipping that switch to show that we have RCCB cameras before it will be enabled, and before we'll be able to get the full self-driving beta on that S100D.
Still kind of a bummer though.
Yeah,
because I
know a lot of people have been waiting
ago.
on those. Not a lot, relatively small, because it was from October of 2016 through about August of 2017, any of those cars that got upgraded still just can't get the beta. So eventually, but it's just the other wait, and we've been waiting, 4+ years already.
Yeah. And Chris said, do we have the LED matrix headlights? I don't think the S has those. And what is it? The new 3s did? 3 started to.
Yeah, but I think, in foreign markets, they have but they did upgrade the, we definitely saw the Tesla S headlights have changed from previously, but again, in the United States, they still don't allow like the matrix, blocking of the beam.
Which is so stupid. I think that's safer.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that eventually.
Yeah. Let's see. John said anything over 100 and you will lose your license. I mean, I'm a good driver. I don't go over 100 on regular streets.
But on tracks, if you take it to the
I
tracks,
go to tracks all the time.
But unfortunately, take it to a drag strip, you get in trouble if you go over 150, we found out. So.
Yeah. But at least I don't get a ticket.
Yeah.
Let's see. Luke said he has stock options running out, I think. Yeah, Elon has some interesting things going on with all that jazz. John said, I bet you $1 he throws a bunch of money at world hunger.
Yeah, that was
probably.
So,
but so okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent real quick
last week,
because this kind of pisses me off. This is Eric getting angry. No, I'm just kidding.
Should have a little.
This is like a red alert. Like Eric is angry. Eric is angry. Everyone's kind of like bagging on Elon, saying how he has enough money to cure world hunger. He has enough money to do everything, this and that and that and this. The real issue is he has no cash. Like.
Or he's not that much. I mean, not
tangible cash.
He doesn't have $300 billion.
He doesn't have that. It's all tied up in stock. And if people want him to sell the stock to be able to deal with stuff that really the government should be dealing with, not an individual, I have issues with that because if he sells all the stock because he has to do all that, he's no longer a majority shareholder in Tesla, in which case it doesn't matter. It can totally change on the drop of a dime. But everyone's always kind of bagging on Elon, but I don't see anyone going after Apple, which everyone's so willing to just fork over $1,500 for a cell phone every couple months. And they have, what is their cash stockpile?
It's quite a bit. And
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and also, what was that, Berkshire Hathaway?
Berkshire Hathaway has hundreds of $149 billion in cash. Apple, I'm sure, has way more than that in cash just sitting there.
Yeah, Elon doesn't have the cash.
Go to the companies and the people with the cash not doing anything and get it from them. Don't get it from people that are stock rich or asset rich, because that's different. Like the whole unearned gain tax thing, I had issues with that too, because you can't tax something that's unearned, because they might tax it when it's at its highest, but the very next day it might be like nothing. Like, how do you account for that? You don't. That's why you can't tax unearned gains.
The nice thing though is Elon did say he'd sell it tomorrow if it would do it. So the cool thing is he's all for trying to end world hunger and do all these other socially responsible things.
I mean, he totally seems willing, but I just hate how everyone's like, Elon has to do this.
Yeah.
What are you doing to help that? Because if you're not doing anything, but you're saying all these other people should do something, perhaps we need to flip the switch and kind of look in the mirror. And that is my TED Talk. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
John, I don't know. You can tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know, but for some reason, John's message about 100 miles got removed. So we didn't do that intentionally. There's some stuff that the Streamlabs software automatically removes.
Oh, that's weird.
Stuff, but I don't see anything wrong with that. And
no.
Anyways.
I don't know. Can I re-enable it?
I tried. No, sometimes we have the option to add the back, but it disappeared. But it wasn't intentional, John. It's some automatic filter.
Yeah, I don't know why
it might have been it might have been the 100.
That's stupid though. If it tags it for 100.
Yeah, you got to maybe look at the filters there.
Yeah, I'll look at the filters. Sorry, John. You shouldn't have been removed. Let's see. Where are we? Ryan said, picked up my Model Y on Wednesday. Love it. But 20 miles after leaving the delivery center, a tractor trailer I don't like where this is going. Towing a bulldozer covered in rocks and mud flew a ton of rocks at me and smashed the windshield.
Wow, that's no fun.
That's terrible. Oh,
On the first, 20 miles. Yeah, because when I first bought my
that makes me want to
my
cry.
Honda CR-V back in '97, I got a cracked windshield, but it was at least 2 weeks after owning it, and that was not fun. But can you imagine driving your car home 20 miles and already cracked?
Yeah. Let's see. Roger said, anyone know if Nosotros Tequila sends overseas? It was in the Tesla decanter. I don't know if they sell overseas or not. That's a good question.
Yeah, I see John had another message that was deleted. So yeah, I think we need to look at the filters because I think it's.
Oh yeah, it's deleting a bunch.
with
let
numbers.
me pull up Streamlabs.
I think it's because that number starts with a 1 that it's.
That's stupid though. I need to just kick Streamlabs out if it's
Yeah.
gonna do that. They did just update Streamlabs, so maybe there's something going on. I'll look into it. Tato Webb said my estimated delivery date's November 21st to December 3rd. Will it be a 2022? Depends if they're making a new car or matching you with a current.
But also, we don't know
car.
if that's an S or an X or a 3 or a Y.
True.
But there have been lots of 3s and Ys that have gotten the 2022 VINs. So it's possible it's 2022 if it's a 3 or Y, but not guaranteed. There are still a lot of people getting the 2021 VINs, and you can tell them, no, put me on hold if you want. Or just tell them that you want a 2022. Again, we haven't heard of any differences between 21 and 2022 yet. There might be some, but since there haven't been any or many deliveries, nobody's been able to identify that. In the past, like we saw changes when the Model 3 changed from year to year. They got rid of like the hooks in the frunk. Not a huge thing. And so right now we are unaware of any changes between a 21 and 22 other than that number on the VIN and the 21, 22.
Yeah. John, I'm looking up why it kicked you out for a minute too. I don't know what's going on.
I think it
with
was.
Streamlabs.
I'll tell you after the.
Okay.
Chat. I see.
I'll get it figured out though and see what's going on.
I don't know. It doesn't look like John. It's like I see a third of message, but we can see John's messages fortunately. But I don't know either.
Yeah.
We'll look at that later.
Let's see. Ken said Elon has to sell some stock to pay for the stock options, and then he will have to pay taxes on the sale. Selling 10% will give him the money for the stock options, taxes, and money for other projects. Yeah, I mean, I agree and everything, but I think he should have just done it and not tweeted about it, because if anyone has like calls or anything coming up, that could be rough come tomorrow. Let's see. Chris said his Model Y Performance has the Matrix headlights, but I imagine it's just not doing the Matrix animation stuff. That's the only downside. Let's see. Organica said I have some money ready to buy the dip tomorrow, as do I.
I don't know though. I don't.
We'll
think,
see. I want to see what if
I
there's
don't
a
think
dip.
it'll be big enough dip. I mean, it'll dip and I'll be like, oh, I lost money. But I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be big enough that it's worth buying a lot. Because if there's going to be a stock split, that's when the stock is going to go way back down. And that's when I'm going to wait to buy more. Because
True. True.
But if any of you did miss up, because it has gone up over 400 something bucks in the last month, it might go down a little, but it's not going to go down that much. I don't think. I hope not.
Yeah. Mark said, when is Tesla going to build an affordable Tesla? Middle class can't buy the car. It's just for rich people. I don't think it's just for rich people.
Especially with the Model 3. I mean, they had Model 3 for like 30-something thousand. And
I would say
it's
to
higher than
get
that
like
now.
a Model S or X, you have to be doing fairly well off. But I mean, at the same point, I know some people that don't have jobs got a Model S or X.
Go to the Model 3. What's the cheapest Model 3 now? Because the price has gone up over the past year, but the tax credit is also supposed to be coming out. So that'll bring the price down, closer
back to where it was a year ago.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they raised the price. But also, prices in everything has gone up over the past year.
So the cheapest Model 3 currently is a rear-wheel drive, and it is $46,500.
Wow, that's gone way up then. Yeah, because I remember it was like.
I thought it was like 35.
Yeah, and then you could even get one off the menu or whatever for like 32 or something. I thought.
Yeah.
And so the price has gone way up.
The cheapest all-wheel drive is 52.
Wow. Yeah, that has gone up. But Elon, they did say that they've come out with a new car that was designed in China that's going to be smaller and cheaper. But it sounds like that's probably not, just with the way that the market's going, the economy and everything, that's probably not coming out for a couple of years. But it was, it's supposed to be that the estimated, $25,000 price range. And then if that has tax credits, that would make it even cheaper. But yeah, unfortunately, that looks like it's still a couple years out.
Yeah. Ed said, how do you defer delivery date? Is it the same as having a sales rep change your account to ineligible to stop Tesla from assigning you a
I
VIN?
wouldn't say ineligible. You can. There's a way you can just say put it on hold.
Okay.
And you can give them a date.
Just tell them you like you're not ready yet, kind of thing.
And,
okay.
Yeah. Say for financing or something like that, and you can say I want it, and you can give them a date, and then they'll do that, and then you'll see in your account they'll have a button, and you can say remove hold, so you can end it earlier if you like. But basically, it'll say okay, we're not going to assign any car with you until January or 1st or something like that.
Yeah.
But you do need to contact them either by chat or call them up.
Yeah. John said, okay, I will now choose my questions carefully. No, I that was a tangent I really wanted to say anyway. Your question just brought it up to mind. I think the question was a great question, so I'd say keep them coming. Let's see. Ryan said the truck company might pay for the windshield repair. I sent them the Tesla cam.
Yeah,
I would make them.
Yeah,
or if they don't, I would small claims court
I
that.
always hate the sign on the back that says not responsible for broken
It's like,
windshields.
no, you're
But
responsible.
it's like stuff that's falling off your vehicle. Yes, you are.
Yeah. Yeah. That sign doesn't negate liability.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would lawyer up and fight
And
them.
I think they're trying to get people to, you don't want them tailgating, but if you're, sufficient distance away, that doesn't take away their responsibility.
But even if they were tailgating, if someone was tailgating me and something fell out of my car, I would be responsible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've seen stuff.
I don't think those signs can hold up in court.
Yeah.
I would challenge the crap out
and
of that.
And especially have video. Hopefully you had video of
He said he has his Tesla cam.
Then if you can prove from that video, they should see that it came from their vehicle. Then I think they would pay for it. Or send it to your, if they don't, then you can go through your insurance and submit it as a claim. Then they can go after their insurance.
I wouldn't bring my insurance into it because I'd be afraid they'd affect it.
Not yet.
I would small claims court them or pay an attorney like $50 to send them a letter saying if they don't pay this, you will proceed with litigation and see what happens. That normally tends to spark people up.
Because it'd probably be cheaper for them to pay for your windshield than to go into their attorney and then go to small claims court and do all this stuff.
Trust me, I know how much an attorney is. It's not cheap. Organica said, my precondition settings in the app's not working. Anyone else have this issue? Wonder if it's daylight savings. Oh,
we haven't seen
we
that
haven't
yet,
tried that.
It could be, yeah. Maybe give it a day and see if it works tomorrow,
Yeah.
I know we've seen some weird things in the past with daylight savings.
Jay said, my decanter is empty. Rum of choice to fill it.
Yeah.
Rum?
Rum. Oh, we do you get like some of those coconut rums and all those.
Yeah, like the Malibu. Like, who doesn't love Malibu? I mean, that was like what I drank back in the day a lot.
Or some Disaronno or something like that.
I would maybe throw in like a vodka. That would be kind of nice.
Her Disaronno with some amaretto was.
I mean, I wouldn't mix it in the decanter.
You wouldn't mix it in because it has the amaretto. The sweet sour stuff has to be refrigerated.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, not a bad idea though. Let's see. Anybody else think we should have a new segment? 3 minutes of Eric rant talk. I mean, maybe I'm gonna cut. Maybe I'll cut that little segment out and I'll upload it as a YouTube short. That would be funny.
Well, I know that sometimes I've gone on a rant in previous videos, so yeah, we could have a little intro on that.
We do need like a little rant intro.
We were talking about before the stream today. We need to have a couple of intros and stuff like that.
Yeah. By the way, those of you that were here for the intro that had to see the full 5 minutes, I apologize. We are having some technical difficulties for some reason. This screen wasn't being picked up by the streaming software, so I had to do some changes behind the scenes and it took a few minutes. Thank you for hanging in there though, I appreciate it. So yeah, maybe we'll have like a shorter intro in case stuff like that pops up again. Mark said there's also the matter of based on the whole like matrix lights, there's a matter of correctly calculating the angles. Detecting is one thing, accurately controlling the correct elements for all situations is something else entirely. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Tesla to figure it out. Maybe that's what Audi has had issues with. I've never tested the matrix lights though.
And I think this is Mark who contacted me on Instagram. He was saying that for some reason he keeps getting notifications that I keep following Scott and stuff.
That's weird.
And it's like I'm not unfollowing and following and unfollowing, but sounds like there's a bug on Instagram because it keeps sending a notification. I'm sorry, but that's the only one I've heard having that issue. But let us know if anybody else has that problem. But I haven't followed or unfollowed people in ages, so I don't know why he keeps getting notifications on that. But hopefully Instagram can get that figured out.
Nice. Let's see. Mando said Tesla Giga Berlin will kick off production with the Model Y Performance. That's a hot car. And I saw somebody asked us when we're gonna come out to Giga Austin. Hopefully soon. Again, I've been saying that for a while. Really depends on scheduling and weather. But we do need to get out to Berlin as well. That is a fact.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I haven't been to either one yet.
Yep. John said there's only 12 of the 250 of us that have given a thumbs up. What's
Seriously?
up? Thumbs up. Wow, my mind had a hard time
That's only like
reading
5%.
that. Thank you all for the thumbs up because we jumped up to 90. So thank you,
Wow.
John. You're my new hype man.
Yeah, thanks, John.
John's the hype man.
Me a-
I appreciate that. Let's see. Where are we? So yeah, Model 3 will be 37,000 once the 8,000 incentive comes into play.
The price has gone way up because I could
But
remember
see-
it was lower 30s and
Yeah.
the tax credit could be less. But the nice thing is there are a lot of used Teslas coming on.
issue
Unfortunately,
is-
the market for used cars has gone way up just because of the market and,
Yeah.
and the microchip shortage and all that stuff. It's just pushing everything up. So hopefully things will stabilize in 2022, 23.
The issue is when you look at Model 3 and you're like, okay, I want a Tesla. I want the cheapest one there is. Okay, I'm not going to get it for 7 or 8 months.
Wow, yeah.
That's the issue. But I will say the car industry in general, actually a lot of industries in general, are just jacked right now because like the ports, I've been seeing a lot of news about the LA port. I do a lot of product reviews and I've had some stuff that people have been supposed to send me several months ago that I'm now just getting because the ship was held up for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, this is nuts.
Another thing we didn't mention is with the Hertz deal, the average, it was like $4.2 billion. So the average price was like $42,000. But I think Hertz saw that by buying these cars, there's little to no maintenance on these vehicles. And so that will really help costs. And I see some people talking in chat about that. It's like, you don't have to do the oil changes every 3,000 miles or every few months and stuff like that. So I think that Hertz, imagine how much they spend on oil changes, with all their rental cars.
Yeah.
They don't have to do that on Tesla. And how much have we spent on maintenance, annual maintenance? Like
No, it is not a zero. You remove that zero right now, sir.
Oh,
I've had to buy 2 sets of windshield blades.
And-
Those are $25 a piece.
and the wiper fluid, yes. Too.
And I buy the premium wiper fluid.
Yeah.
It is $7 a gallon.
Yeah, but we haven't had to do like any annual
I know.
service where they tell you
It's
every...
basically nothing. If you
Yeah.
buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks, it probably costs more than my windshield wiper fluid for a year.
So definitely Teslas have been less expensive to maintain.
Oh, yeah.
But they are expensive. Yeah, they're
On the
but
front
also
end.
fueling. Electricity, at least for us, is like a third or a fourth of the price,
Yep.
or even free if you have solar. We've already paid for it. But basically, it is so much cheaper to power a car via electricity than with gas or diesel.
Totally. Real quick, some super chats came in. Benjamin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said 20K to go into the dip buying tomorrow. Let's load up, fam. Thanks for the
wow.
stream, guys. I mean, I could probably throw a similar amount. I don't know though.
I'm gonna hold off just because I don't think it'll dip that much. And it's just like last time there was a big dip like that, I bought in a bunch, like maybe like 15, 20 shares. But then it
Dipped even more.
and so then it took like almost like a year or 9 months before the price got back up to make up for that. So it's like I bought in too early.
I mean, we'll have to play it out by year. I might throw a little bit at the dip. We'll see. But the issue is it's like $1,200 right now. So even if
you
it dips
can't buy
to like
nearly as many. Yeah.
1,000, I'm only gonna get like 20 or 30 shares.
It's only
But
a small amount.
I that's why I kind of agree with you. I think again, this is not investment advice. I need to clarify that. I think maybe just saving up cash for when it does a split, because every time Tesla does a split, it drops, and then it goes right back to where it was pre-split.
So if it could go down to like $200 or $300, I think that's what I'm going to wait for before I buy more, because then I get like 5 times as many, and then
You
it'll
just
go
make
back up.
a higher X on your investment
Yeah.
too. Love that. But definitely, I'll keep an eye on it, and if it dips to the right amount, I'll probably pick some more up too. Thanks again, Benjamin. And Amy said, check in on my favorite 4-legged redheads. You bet, Amy. They're full cuddles right now.
It's funny, Amy, when I was getting my beverage ready today,
Your beveragino?
Layden came over and she then led me to the basement. So she knows whenever I fill up my cup with ice, that's like the only time I get ice is when we're coming down here. Then she led me to the basement, so she knew it was time to go to work. So she's busy doing her job. So.
They're so tired. But yeah, thanks for the super chats, guys. John said one problem with FSD beta is it turns on the high beams on at night and sometimes doesn't turn them off in time for oncoming car. People get mad. So I've actually experienced this long ago. I didn't actually used to use the auto high beams because I found it was like unreliable. But with 10.31 is what we're on, right?
Yes.
I have found it to be much
Or no, I think
better.
they might have gone to 10.32 or something.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, that was where the fiasco was.
Whatever we're on, I find it much better. So that's nice to see at least. But hopefully it continues to improve for sure. Peak Time Racing said you have the rims on it. Without sport rims, it's cheaper. Do we? Hold up. Did I make an error?
Oh, for the
I
voice.
did.
Yeah, so you can get slightly cheaper.
Okay. So it is 45,000. Thank you for that correction, Peak Time Racing. I didn't even notice that.
But still way more than it used to be last year.
Totally.
But with the tax credit, bring it down to like,
Minus
upper
8,000, so
yeah.
like 37K.
Yeah.
Good call though. I appreciate that. Let's see.
What time are you at?
I'm at 6 o'clock, so we're about 10 minutes behind
okay.
on messages. Chris said in Arizona, there's a benefit for registration on new cars that expires next year.
Yes, I've heard
right now, you get 5 years for less than $200 total. Must be delivered by the end of the year.
It's
okay,
crazy.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Plaid is going to cost like $3,000 to register for the first year.
Yeah, so most states are not as cheap as Arizona, so they...
Yeah. Maybe we should buy some property in Arizona.
No, it's going away at the end of the year.
Oh.
But I do know some
But it might
people-
still be cheaper anyway.
I do know some people that live in Arizona or have an address in Arizona that...
As well as, I think there's Oregon.
There's a few other
and
states.
Montana.
Yeah, there's a few other states. But
So,
that's,
yeah.
But they're kind of losing that advantage because they've finally caught on and they're starting to have to pay for it. But yeah, it is not cheap in Colorado and other states. You have to pay like an annual fees, and the first few years are definitely very expensive here.
Yes, extremely expensive. Jared said thoughts on Rivian. Heard their stock is going to go public soon. So I've been a fan of Rivian. I've sat in their cars before. Their
Even though we have some
SUV and
complaints
their
about
truck.
their recruiting and their technology.
No
scaling
one's
and-
perfect, but I've been a fan overall. I wish I would have gotten one of their launch edition trucks because I would have really enjoyed that, I think. As far as the stock goes, again, not investment advice. I'm a little worried. Jeff Bezos. What's that song?
Oh, is he in chat? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff Bezos. Let me call him real quick.
Yeah.
So
Born in
I think
1964.
TikTok song. I believe he has first right of refusal on a bunch of different vehicles for like the first 3 years or something like that. I don't know if it's just commercial vehicles, what the allocation is between commercial and like personal is, but that can kind of scare me because he is in so deep with Rivian and wants all his Amazon trucks. I'm gonna wait this one out a little bit. I might throw a couple grand at it or something.
That's what I would do.
like-
Is maybe get a few and
Yeah.
because I definitely think it will in the short term definitely go up, and it's also so cheap.
See, I'm
that you
thinking
get a lot more
short
shares.
term, it's gonna go down, and then maybe it'll
Well,
go back
I
up.
mean really short term. Like
Oh, got
the
it.
first couple of days, it's gonna go up.
Oh yeah, sure.
And since it's so cheap, you can get a lot more if the stock's gonna be $50 to $100 than if it's $1,200.
Yeah. But I just want to see kind of how that's going to play out with the Amazon deal and everything. I need to do more research on that to make sure that everything is not just allocated to Amazon, because that concerns me because I don't think Amazon's going to be paying full price. But also, like, if they're just doing commercial vehicles, it's hard for a lot of like investors to kind of get behind it, kind of like Tesla's doing. It'll be interesting to watch though, for sure. Chris said you should always get glass protection on your insurance, because especially on a Tesla. Agreed. We have glass insurance, but if someone dropped a ton of rocks on my windshield and broke it, I'm going after them.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with my insurance. They can deal with theirs. Mark said people that claim Teslas aren't affordable aren't doing the math. Add fuel, maintenance, all other ICE overhead to the monthly payment, and you can easily afford an EV that is much more costly. True. Kevin said those stay back signs mean absolutely nothing on a commercial vehicle. Yeah, it's basically them just
Probably just
saying to stay back.
Or trying to like bully
Scare
you to
you,
think that
yeah.
it's not going to do good. But no, if it's coming off their vehicle, that's their
But see, like,
fault.
there's a rock quarry nearby, And I guarantee you, they all have those signs on the back of their trucks. But if I got rocks from one on mine, I would go after them. I would send them a letter. I'd have my attorney send them a letter, and they'd be paying for my glass, not me. That's, yeah. Let's see. See, Mike CS said, do you think various Tesla model prices will fall back down when? I think maybe once the world supply chain issue kind of levels out. But from analysts that I'm reading talking about this, it might not be till like 2023 when supply chain issues start to go back to normal. This is not going to be something that can just be fixed overnight. Especially right now in China, you have a lot of factories operating at like half capacity because they're on electricity restrictions for clearing up their air for the games coming up. The Olympics. I think that's what it's for. So a lot of the analysts I'm reading about are saying not till like 2023, which I guess leads. I've seen some people talk about this. Is what about Cybertruck pricing?
Yeah, is it going to go up?
Are we going to be locked in, or is there some wording in the reservation that says this is just a reservation? This doesn't confirm final pricing.
I'm sure they could do that, and they could totally say sorry. And if they've got a million reservations, even I'm sure a lot of people complain, and they could lose hundreds of thousands, but they're still going to have hundreds of thousands of reservations that would then be still. I'm going to pay it.
Yeah, I would totally buy one still, depending on what it looks like. Now, I'm just looking at this real quick. This is the Cybertruck motor vehicle purchase agreement, pre-order agreement, not purchase. Need to clarify that. Vehicle configuration. The vehicle configuration will be confirmed with you at a later date. It will describe the vehicle that you configure, including pricing. Final price sheet will be provided to you as delivery date nears. It will include final pricing based on your vehicle configuration, But I don't, let's just price. 17. Okay, here we go. Price. Your vehicle price and configuration based on features available at time of order. And you can confirm. So that just says order, but up here it says pre-order.
Yeah, because we haven't placed an order
So
yet.
I think, pre-order price, taxing, official fees. The pre-order price of the vehicle will be confirmed in your vehicle configuration and final price sheet. Oh. I needed my attorney because I can't deal with this. This is too much. The pre-order price of the vehicle will be confirmed in your vehicle. So is our pre-order price that's legit then? That's what we're gonna pay.
Hopefully, yeah.
Let's see. As you may, let me zoom in so you guys can read this too. Sorry, because it was crazy tiny. So I'm just right here. So it does say, as you may have only configured part of your vehicle, any pre-order price provided to you in advance of the final price sheet is only being offered to you as an estimate and is subject to change. Oh, so I need to get to line 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could change. Hopefully not by much, but we'll have to see. Maybe we should break down this. That's what we should do. We should call Jamie, have her go through this, and make a video going through everything.
Probably wouldn't be the most exciting.
And it'd probably cost me a ton of money. So yeah, there you go. Where are we now? Sorry. We're still now we're 15 minutes behind because I got on a little rant. My bad.
Lightning round.
Kevin said vodka, unsubscribed. Oh no. I do like my vodka. Although I don't really drink much these days, although you guys see Twitter lately. I don't really drink too much. I'm like a White Claw kind of guy.
I was just say, I see Sam Crown was asking about the referral link. Tesla stopped the referral program. There are no more free supercharger miles for new orders. They only have the the referral program for the solar roof right now. So I don't remember if it's a month or two back, but I think they saw when they have orders going out almost a year, they don't need to offer that incentive anymore, and so they're not. Even though it doesn't really cost them that much, they pulled that away. So any existing orders that were placed that did have that, you could still get those referral miles when the car is delivered. But the last couple of months, no referral program miles.
Yeah. unfortunately.
for new orders.
C Mike CS said, do you think potential EV credits will drastically negatively affect used Tesla prices? It wouldn't make sense to buy a used Tesla if you could buy a new one for essentially the same price. Supply and demand. So like, I guess the biggest thing is if you order a new one now, it could take 6 to 7 months to receive. So if people need a new vehicle, they'll just end up paying the used price of that. As far as how it will affect it, I'm sure used prices will drop a little bit if the EV tax credit comes in. But until you can order a Tesla and get it within like a month or two, I don't think it affecting it too much.
They're so backlogged.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be a while before.
It's a great question,
the
though.
prices go back down a lot.
Yeah.
And this is something we've seen in the past. You know, back when there was a 7,500 tax credit, people were just, I'll buy it new instead of buying used. But now it's like, it's a weird year.
Yeah. Quick Ice Car Review said the Instagram bug is because y'all haven't come to the iPhone side yet. I have an iPad. That's close enough. I don't really use it, but here. Actually, you have an iPad too now.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. It's for
work. I mean, that's why I have mine for work, basically. Let's see. Ryan said storage accessories for the cubby under the drink holder for the new Plaid. Maybe coming soon. Can't say too much. Sam Crown said, "Oh, you answered that. Thank you."
Joseph Janusek is greetings from Czechia, so the Czech Republic.
Wow, 2 a.m.
He's up late.
Awesome. Thanks for joining.
But thanks for that daylight. Well, actually,
wasn't it
changed for them a different time? Yeah.
Wasn't it their cruise around there, or like weren't we planning a trip to Czech?
That's like
no. But like, wasn't there some Czech trip we thought about?
Yeah, but that's not a cruise.
No.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Diego said, who are the 5 degenerates that gave a thumbs down? I would like to give your comment a thumbs up. Let's see. Mark said the Instagram bug is because Facebook bought them out and is gradually slipping in all the crap they made me delete my Facebook account years ago. Got it. Hopefully that doesn't keep popping up though, because that'd be probably annoying. Let's see. Robert said, living in Colorado, aren't y'all supposed to have some brake work done once a year? No.
I know that there's something...
On older vehicles, maybe.
Yeah, there's something that Tesla said about having like the brake caliper or something oiled or something or every year or something like that. But I don't know. It's a very dry climate here. We don't have like a problem with like rust or anything like that. And on my previous car, before we owned the Tesla, I had the same brakes on that car for 18 years before I had to ever even have the pads or anything adjusted. So I don't know. I guess I had a lot of highway miles, but it's just like I didn't have a problem with that. I know that other places they might have an issue. Maybe it is recommended, but we haven't spent anything on having our... But also we go through Teslas pretty frequently that we don't...
I don't do maintenance. I just buy a new car.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't take that out of context. Don't clip it.
Yeah,
don't clip it.
Because then your costs are going to go way up for your annual maintenance. So.
Don't clip that. Just leave it. Let it lie. But, I mean, the 2017 we've never done anything with, and she's still a rock. That car is solid.
I mean, the only money we spent on that was to get the MCU updated.
But that's an optional thing.
Yeah, that was an optional thing that we didn't need. But other than that, I think everything, just tires and wiper blades, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And that's 4.5 years old. It's
I have put some windshield wiper fluid in it.
Yeah, it's got almost 60,000 miles, but we haven't really had any problems with that.
Yeah.
And it's still in the garage.
Yep. Zach said, with Tesla trade-in, how does it work if you have to wait till June of 2022 with only a 1,000-mile limit on your trade?
Yeah.
So actually, Tesla is no longer, their Tesla trade-in site is no longer active. You would have to do it under your order once it opens up. They have stopped giving trade-in quotes because everything is so far out.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do it on your new vehicle order page to see what your car is worth, kind of thing. It's kind of a bummer, but I understand it because, and all of their trade-in quotes are probably a lot of people unhappy with them because they're not getting their car for X amount of time. So value is going to change. Let's see.
I see Colorado Marawai said there's got to be a split soon, even though they deny it. And that's the thing. When they had the earnings call like a month ago, they're like, oh, no. But guess what? The price has gone up $450 since that call, at least.
Also, they have to be careful what they say. Elon has gotten in trouble before. They have to be very careful.
Unless it's officially announced.
Exactly.
They can't speculate and stuff like that. So hopefully there will be a call or a split on that.
I don't know how it is not being talked about internally at Tesla.
It might be. We just don't know yet.
It has to be. Let's see. Mando said per Bloomberg crypto Tesla token drops 6.8% after Musk suggests selling stock. Crypto traders are telling stock traders that Tesla shares will probably fall when Wall Street wakes up Monday. Yeah, that's Tesla for you. It's a roller coaster. Let's see. Kevin did say car registration in Colorado is ridiculous. Hertz new car sales. It's just ridiculous. I don't like the amount of money we pay for new car registration, and like, where's all that money going? Because our roads are crap.
Yeah. Well, hopefully though, with the new infrastructure bill, we'll finally get some
hopefully
upgraded roads.
Yep. License to Drive said, "Dang it, I missed the news. I forgot the time change." No worries. The great thing is you can just scrub back if you want to watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot
but
of
it was a lot, so it was a longer news session this time. Robert said, question about the 8K reduction. It's not a reduction in the car's price, it's a tax credit, so only reduces your taxable income by 8K, which means you also don't get an 8K return, just lowers your bracket. So actually the way I think it is now is it is an 8K return. So yes, if you owe taxes, it'll come off of that first,
like
but
refundable.
before you used to have to owe 75. Scott scared the dogs. Before you have to owe 7,500 before you could take full advantage of it, but now the way it's worded currently, last I read it, is if you only owe like 1,000 or whatever, it wouldn't just wipe that out and then the rest go away. You would get that 7,000 or whatever the difference is back.
But yeah, we won't know for sure until they actually, signed it into law. But we've gotten it all, and I think in the past when they had the 7,500, you had to make, I don't know what it was, like $50-something thousand to have the taxable income or whatever to get that. But we were always able to qualify. We got the full tax credit for every car we could.
Yep. John got his 2022 VIN for his Model 3 long range. Nice. Mando said, will you guys test drive the Lucid vehicle? I'm on the list. I'm just waiting for a phone call. So maybe eventually. Let's see. Where are we now? So I'm still like 10 minutes behind. FYI. We're trying to catch up. Black House said, love road trips in the Model Y. Navigation almost perfectly predicts my arrival percentage. Efficiency is great. So easy to drive long range. So I honestly will say the efficiency or like the prediction on what you will arrive with once they started putting the heat pump in, it does a much better job. And I think it's just because the heat pump is far more efficient than like a resistive heater. So I have noticed that on the Model Y, which unfortunately is sold, but I did notice that on the Y, and I've noticed it a lot on the Plaid. Yep. Michael said, your Tesla Model S Plaid is so fast. Your Teslas look so fancy and sporty. They're awesome. Tesla fully electric. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Where were we?
We were driving around yesterday or something.
Yeah.
There was like people all over just like
everybody
pointing at and.
I can't, like, everybody, like...
Oh, and then we went to UPS.
UPS.
Like, people were sitting outside the restaurant, and they're all like, oh, what's that? So, it still turns a lot of heads,
Yep.
Just with that green wrap.
But I guarantee you, if it was just that white color, it'd be a little bit more incognito.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. Let's see. Organica said, recently had an insurance claim due to a rock chip. Also, the person at fault's claim... insurance covered the repair. Tesla Cam really saved the day. It was such a hassle to get PPF redone, but glad I had it. Yeah, Tesla Cam, completely underrated. Glad it's working out for you. Chris said, signing off. Peace. Good night, Chris. Thank you for joining. Roger said, I got so ridiculously hammered that night. You're a bad influence.
Well,
I was talking to Amy a lot.
It was a good day for the stock, though. It was.
I mean... I can't help but have a celebratory drink sometimes.
I'm misleading. Hey.
Did they just get FODS?
I don't know, but she came in here. She's being all loving. So.
Aww.
What's going on?
Let's see.
Gotta wait.
Helmut said, first class service, 48 hours between scheduling service and getting my car back.
Yeah,
for a windshield.
Yeah.
And got a Tesla loaner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isaac's picking up his new Model S on Monday. Congratulations.
Plaid or long range?
It doesn't say, but maybe he can answer later on. But congrats anyways, because new Model S. Woohoo.
Let's see. Chris said Tesla service has really improved. No waiting for parts. Friendly people. I even got a survey asking how well it went. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with service, to be honest.
I think here in Colorado, we really have had really good luck with our service centers. I know other parts of the country, some of the service centers kind of hit or miss, but lots of places. So there's another one. Try a different service center, but not everybody has that option, unfortunately.
Yeah. Roger said, have we gone to Norway to meet Bjorn yet? Not yet.
We saw him, though, at a couple events.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
The Gigafactory event, and then I think the Model 3, I don't know, it was a couple
I think
events.
it was Model 3.
So it's been a few years, but we've seen him,
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember, because that one they still had the original Powerwall, the first one, remember the bigger Powerwall?
It was very curvy.
And that was before the Powerwall.
Can you do that curve again? Okay, don't clip that either.
That's
don't clip that either.
of the original Powerwall, which didn't last very long, and they had like half the capacity, so hardly anybody owns those.
Yep. Let's see. Diego said that bark perked up his dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Dog check.
Yeah, they're checking each other out.
Oh, we gonna clean some ears?
Yeah, and they're talking about like you're supposed to have the brakes lubricated every year or two, and then John says you guys park in the garage makes a big difference. Yeah, when you park outside, that is nice that we don't have to that we do have a garage, and so our car's protected from the elements a little bit more.
Yeah. The cat on top of the supercharger. Oh, can you get it down? People can't see it.
Mr. Bigglesworth?
That is part of the 3 Comma Club.
That's Mr. Bigglesworth from the Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Right?
It's part of the Trace Comma.
But the thing is,
Club.
what Layden sees that, she's like, oh, I want to play with that. Yeah.
Oh, she's licking her chops. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's ear cleaning time.
When did we get that? Oh, that's because, we joined the... Wait, it was the 2 Comma Club, isn't it?
Billion is 3, is it?
But there's no...
No, that's 2.
$1 million.
Yeah. I thought it was... whatever. It's up there.
You're thinking of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that's, I think, exactly what I was thinking of. Let's see. Fred said, move to Florida. Low vehicle ownership costs, no income tax, plus our roads are great, no mountains, so sorry. I mean, I don't mind Florida. I used to live in Florida, actually. Fun fact.
Like born there or something?
Yeah. Maybe I'll probably be in Florida next year, by the way. We should have like a meetup or something.
Yeah, definitely we're going to do some road trips in the future with the Cybertruck and the Roadster once they come, but it might be a while, but we'll definitely do multiple road trips.
I think next year, though, is going to be a Disney trip.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel
it. Probably not a road trip. Well, actually, it could be a road trip.
It could be. That could be fun.
But we
in the Model X.
We're going to be doing lots of trips next year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Well, that could be a road trip. I didn't think.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be. We have some things coming next year that you'll find out about eventually. It's just not time. Yeah. It's just not the time. But next year you'll know. Sorry, Diego, for the spoiler. I just can't say anything quite yet. William said, "Should I postpone my delivery for December of 2021?" Do what?
Yeah, it just depends.
To try to get a 2022 VIN, or what is the...
And it kind of just depends. If you need the car right away, I wouldn't postpone it.
Yeah.
If you've been living without it and you can go several more months, then it doesn't hurt to delay it.
Yep.
And again, if it's a 3 or a Y and you really need the tax credit, then yeah, it wouldn't hurt to delay it. But if it's S or an X, most likely there's not going to be any tax credit, so there's no reason to.
Yep. John said, how much does it cost to change the color with a wrap on the Model Y? I'm getting one in February. First, congrats on the Model Y. 2, it's going to vary a lot depending on where you go, what wrap they use, what you want. Certain wrap colors are more expensive than like solid colors if you want something printed. I'll say like the Model S plaid with the vinyl, I think it was like $4,000, maybe 3 to 4 grand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not terrible, but it is just vinyl. It's not paint protection film. So if a rock hits it or something, it's more likely to tear it than, say, PPF.
Yeah, we did see that when we had the S75D with that
the red
wrap, and you could see a bunch of like gravel, it hit the front bumper and stuff. And while the bumper paint itself was okay, it kind of cut into the wrap in spots, but luckily it did its job. But if it had been a bigger rock, then it would have probably actually chipped the paint, but luckily we didn't have that problem.
Yep. Robert said, how are the Martian wheels doing on the plaid? They're releasing the same style for the 3, and I'm thinking picking them up. 10.5 inch wide. 10.5 inch wide's a beast. Love it. That's going to look really good on a Model 3. I'm really happy with them. Now, they're not currently on the car because I have my race slicks on there. And
on the Martian wheels, yeah.
on the Martian wheels, I have the race slicks. And so those aren't currently on the car because we're getting some really cold weather. But I absolutely love the wheels. I've been really happy with them.
Yeah,
and they look really good.
But also, we're getting some record heat. So Colorado is just
Yeah,
kind of weird.
we're all over the place.
It can be like freezing in the morning, and it could be 80 degrees in the afternoon. So it kind of, you're not supposed to drive those slicks below like 40 degrees or something like that. So to be safe, we put the all seasons on, and we'll probably just stick with those for the next, 6 months or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Roger, we don't need anything that we talked about to turn into a GIF like it did with Jeremy. But some of those GIFs are hilarious, not gonna lie. Isaac said it's a long range S. Hopefully the appointment sticks and they don't end up changing it. So yeah, just I'm curious if you have Twitter or anything, DM me or something when you pick it up, or like tweet some photos of it and tag us.
So he's getting the one too. Yeah, that's the one he's getting it on. What, tomorrow then?
I think it was like this week.
Yeah, so congrats.
But let us know, like, does it come with the cargo cover? Because a lot of people are saying Tesla has told them it's not going to be delivered with that, but they will bring it to them at a later date once they get some stock in. Let us know how it works. Because yeah, I'm excited to hear about new delivery. And then he also said, do you guys charge every day, even if it has a good amount of battery? So I plug in every day, and I keep mine set to 80%.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes if I drive, it'll charge a little bit. If I don't drive, it sometimes will charge depending on how low it is. But
how many days you go?
I think of it like if it's plugged in, it's happy, and it takes 2 seconds to do it when I get home. So as long as you keep it at like 80%, you'll be more than fine.
And the nice thing though is if you forget to plug in, we have a large enough range that we could probably go several days or an all week without plugging in. And that's how when I had my first Tesla back in like into 2016 and all through 2017, I actually only charged at work because they had solar powered chargers there, and I would only charge like once or twice a week just because that was all I needed. And lived pretty close to work, and I just wanted to take advantage of that. That was before we had solar at home, so I would charge via solar at work. But yeah, typically we just plug it in nowadays, and if we forget, it doesn't really matter. The cool thing is that they've really expanded the supercharger network so that if we do have an emergency and we forgot to plug in, pretty much any direction we go, there's a supercharger, so we'd be able to go and top off if we needed to.
Yep. John said Florida has hurricanes. Get solar with batteries. But
definitely good idea to have some power walls, because without power walls, the solar doesn't do any good. It won't work at all. And you'll be wondering, why did I spend all that money on solar if it's not doing any good? So you definitely need to get power walls.
Yep. Melody says, I'm road tripping from Florida to Vegas, hopefully in my new X in January.
Trip, yeah.
Hit us up if you're coming through Colorado.
Yeah, she's probably going to stay further south. But
if you do come through Colorado, hit us up. Let's see. Diego said, can you put a wrap over PPF? Yes. Some people even do the vinyl and then PPF on top of it, but you can layer it differently.
Yeah, we've done it different ways on various cars.
So we've played around with it a little bit. If you're gonna wrap it, I would put PPF, then the vinyl on top. Yeah. But that's just gonna add to your cost. And I see he said quotes for his Model Y were $2,500 in Phoenix, and PPF was $5,500. So here in Colorado, it's a lot more expensive. Add a couple grand to that each price, and that's what it is in Colorado. It really depends location-wise too. I think some places in California to PPF a full vehicle is like $12,000 depending on where you go. You can find it cheaper. Just make sure they have experience. Okay, we're almost caught up. I don't know how it happened. Pierre, $5 super chat.
Another one. Well, thanks,
Another one.
Pierre.
Thank you so much, Pierre. Said, haven't received the Live View Century update. Do you have it, or are new delivery cars not updated right away? We don't have it. I wish we had it. I think it's because we're in like the FSD beta, so it might take a little while.
But hopefully we'll come to the S100D.
Yeah.
And so we did get a couple updates on that last week. Like right in a row, we got 2 updates. And so hopefully we'll be getting that on that car. And what else did he say about... Oh, yeah. But also, though, when you get a new car, it could be like 3 weeks or a month before you get an update. So I wouldn't be expecting anything for a while. And I think that they ship it out with that version, and they just don't want to have potential problems. So it's like an older version that's probably been, several months old. So it could be another 3 or 4 weeks. But if you want, you can set in the software preferences to advanced. You might get a little bit sooner, but I wouldn't expect anything for a few weeks.
Time out real quick, because Kat was asking Melody. They're both gonna be doing the same trip to Vegas, but Kat's going in from Oregon. She has. Are you going to the Game of Thrones convention? There's a Game of Thrones convention.
Ooh.
That sounds crazy fun.
Especially, I wonder if they'll have some sneak previews for the.
I'm saying
the prequel that's coming out, because we've seen
that sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I might have to
We're
clear my January.
Game of Thrones fans as well.
I'm gonna have to clear my January. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Let's see. Melody said no, just vacation for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
To Vegas.
To Vegas we go. Susan said, is 90% okay? 90%'s not bad as like a daily charge level if you're going to be using it. But if you don't use that on a typical day, I would drop it to 80 to be a little safer.
And this is with the cars that aren't the LFP batteries. So,
Yep.
you know, only right now I think is the brand new Model 3s have an LFP, which is a different chemistry that you can charge it to 100% all the time. But for older vehicles, they said to keep it, you know, below 90.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely need it for range. And I see Mark said he needs to charge it to 90, 95. So definitely, yeah, if you need to, charge it up. But typically, most people don't need that extra 5 or 10%.
Yeah. Mark said his rap guys don't want to put vinyl on top of PPF. That's weird because I've done it. I know Stradman did it with his Bugatti.
What they do, but like when we've done it, we don't do the whole car. We do it like
No. Strad did his whole.
Really?
His whole Bugatti.
But
It's a
why would you do
Bugatti.
that?
His whole Bugatti had PPF, and he wanted to change the color, so they put that on top of the PPF. So it is totally possible. I don't know why they won't do it. I'm curious. Ask them and let me know. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult. I don't honestly know. But I've known a lot of people that do it with like their super and hyper cars, because if you're spending like $1 million plus on a car, you got to keep that protected, but you probably want to change the color on it. So they PPF it and then vinyl it.
And I would say definitely do it in that order, because on one of our cars, we did put like some vinyl graphics on first and then put PPF over. And that's cool because that vinyl will last forever. But unfortunately, if we decide to sell the car, we're going to have to pull that back out if the buyer doesn't want the vinyl. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of a pain that way.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm bored 200. It said I ordered a Model S before the refresh in February, March. Got a call saying it's going to be 79K. Now I emailed Tesla on the ETA of the car, and they said it's going to be 99K. I don't know what I should do.
I would just tell them, if you already have an order,
Yeah, if you already have an order
then you're
in,
locked in. You don't have to pay the
you
bigger
should be
price.
locked in at the 79.
Because our order was even less than that, because we put it in like January or of this year. But yeah, as long as you haven't made any changes, the price shouldn't go up.
Yeah.
And so I would point out that if they should be able to look up when your order was or when your reservation was, and if you should be locked in at the old price if you haven't made any changes.
Diego said clear the whole January. Yeah, January is going to be fun. I can't wait. Let's see. Michael said, I bought a Tesla because of Bjorn in Norway. Big mistake, as the car was a real dud. It was stationed in the service center every second week because of the very bad build quality.
I wonder what, unfortunately, that happens with like every manufacturer. Sometimes there's duds, but we've been really lucky.
Hopefully everything gets situated.
We've had 13 Teslas and we've really never had any major problems, and very little has been spent on service. Really, I think we've only spent like $300 on service, and that was when a rodent chewed through the wiring harness of a car that we don't even own anymore, but very inexpensive to repair that.
Yep. Money Mike said, what's the difference between the 2021 and 2022 Model 3? As of right now, the year.
Yeah. 21,
we don't know of any like
Any
big changes.
yeah.
But Tesla makes so many incremental changes, like literally like almost every week. That something's bound to change, but it might not be anything. It might just be the designation. So I wouldn't necessarily count on it having something extra. It's kind of nice to have maybe like a newer fuel vehicle.
But hopefully we'll have some updates in the next week or so where people are starting to take delivery and they might find something has changed. But it could be very minor because we haven't heard of anything yet.
Yep. Let's see. One Bad Plaid, which is Rick from Long Island, said, I have a Plaid. Do you know if the Plaid will get an upgrade with more power, top speed, and acceleration? Potentially. If anything's going to get it, it's going to be the Plaid Model S. And since it is still such a new platform, they might still be undergoing testing to make sure what it can and can't handle. So maybe. That'd be cool.
And they still need to come out with like the wheels and stuff, right?
To enable like the 250 or whatever.
Or even the 200, I think, because I don't think the current tires are rated to go
Oh,
that high.
so I think what it is the rims are okay. But yeah, the tires are only rated to, I think, 168 miles an hour. So you would definitely want to do like different tires if you're going to be pushing like that 200. But I don't think very many people, that 200 mile an hour club is a handful of people.
Yeah, you
for
don't
sure.
get to do it very often.
Yep.
Oh, and Isaac, who's taking delivery soon, says he would try to DM us and let us know. So
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Mine OB said Expel says you can put vinyl over PPF. Yeah.
and we've done that, no problem.
Yeah.
I can't remember which car because we keep going through them.
The Model Y had that.
It's like I know. Yeah. Oh, and probably
The Model 3 had that.
and even it's just like it's hard to keep track.
It's a lot.
But yeah, no problem. And also, it was easy to. We were even able to remove the vinyl very easily and didn't affect the paint protection film at all.
Nope. But if you so the paint protection film, I will say this was the Expel Ultimate, their stealth line. Sorry, and that didn't affect the underlying because there's just the Tesla T on the side. Now, I don't remember what was on the Model 3. Maybe it was something weird with that, but that one had a decal on the side, and that one kind of everything aged a little bit without anything under the decal aging. So that one looked a little weird for a few weeks, but once it was all in the sun, it kind of average or like evened out, blended in. But yeah. Mark said they claim the vinyl won't stick as well to the PPF in corners and difficult places. Maybe. Yeah. I haven't had any issues.
And Robert pointed out 13 Teslas and counting. Yeah, we don't have our mugs, and we need to.
I think they're upstairs being washed.
Yeah, but yes, we need to update those though, or we will need to update those soon. Because I think they actually still only say 12. We need to update them to 13.
Yeah,
we'll probably just go directly to 14 because
14's coming up. Mino B said, "Do you have an ANC on your Plaid yet?"
Not yet. That's
what is that?
The active noise cancellation or active noise reduction, because it seems like they've changed the name. But that's something that's supposed to be coming in 2021.40 or later software updates. We don't have that yet, so we haven't seen anybody that has that. The hardware is supposedly there, just waiting for the software to turn it on.
Yeah. Jason said S-Tech has colored PPF, best of both worlds. Yeah, I've actually maybe coming soon. Maybe. Don't quote me, but maybe. Money Mike said, so if I put an order in for a Model 3 now, would I be putting it in for the 2022? Yes. Unless the rare circumstance, like your exact build comes up as an inventory car, they might match you with that, but you could always tell them, hey, I want like the 2022, or when I placed the order, it said June, so I won't be ready until June, and they'll just keep it at that. Chris said he had to have his sunroof rebuilt on his Model S.
For $700.
$700. That was the most expensive repair, and he has 118,000 miles. And I follow Chris on Instagram and see all of like his fun trips.
Do you know Chris was his like one of the original ones, because they did change the sunroof. They had like a couple different versions, so I'm wondering if it was one of the older ones.
I think it might have been,
because we've got in the S100D, it still has the sunroof. Fortunately, no problems with that yet, but is that like second generation one where they, I think, fixed a few things that...
I wonder if they put the second gen in his. That would be my guess.
Maybe.
Because, I heard some people with the first gen ones had some issues, so, yeah. I'm bored said, this is the email I got from Tesla. The original order was placed for an old version of the Model S Long Range Plus, which was discontinued and replaced with the refresh version of the Model S.
Yeah, and then it was actually changed to the long range, and then they just got rid of long range. It's like, so it's changed multiple times since he placed his order.
I would tell them they need to match the price, because that's what they've been doing with orders.
Yeah, because we're still are locked in. I mean, ours is still whatever, and we know that we're going to get like $2,000. We tried placing the order before the announcement, so we'd be locked in at the old price, but then they increased the price instantly, like by $10,000. But they said they were giving a $2,000 discount on all previously existing orders that had been made before the announcement at the end of January. And then since then, there have been several price increases, but whatever date you place your order, whether it's in February or whatever, that should be the price you're paying, as long as you haven't changed it to, since then.
Yep. Nitish, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, said, I'm getting a 2019 Tesla Model 3. Any tips? Enjoy it, drive it, have fun with it, love it, cherish it. I don't really have many tips.
I don't know. Look for some accessories on Abstract Ocean's.
Oh my god! Why didn't I think of that?
You can customize.
Why didn't I think of that?
Your Tesla.
I actually
Well,
do you have
tell them like
what?
well you tell them your two most common suggestions. It's like the screen protector, but also like the center console
screen
wrap.
protector. The screen protector is really nice. The center console wrap is really. I don't know why I'm whispering. Yeah, definitely. Like, there's a lot of really cool accessories to help make the vehicle more user friendly and just. I don't know. Just add your own flair, your own touch to your vehicle. Have fun with it. Yeah. They're great vehicles, though. I'm super excited for you. Robert said, I like the 3M Stealth PPF. Mutes the original color, looks silky and so cool. Yes. Agreed. Chris said, your Tesla page must look crazy with all those cars. I mean, right now...
Yeah, it's gone down slightly because when we sold the Y, we sold the Y and the 3 a couple months ago, and so it's gone down. And when we mentioned like the 13 Teslas, that's not just on the one account.
No.
So it's right now. How many are there? I think there's at least. Is it?
So
6
I'm waiting for my dashboard to load.
to
still...
load. But yeah, I know there's 2, 4. I think there's 6, or is there 8 cars there listed?
I currently have on my account the 2017 S, the Plaid S. I have a long range X coming, a long range S coming, 2 Founders Roadsters, and 2 Cybertrucks, and 2 solar panels. My previously owned cars, though, that has a 2020Y, a 2018 3, a 2020Y. Oh, we had 2 of those. A 2019 Model 3, a 2019 X, a 2019 3, and a 2016 S. Holy crap! Yeah, it looks ridiculous. I agree.
Anyway, my count's not so bad, but I had like a 2016 S90D, and then I have some Roadsters on there and some other stuff. But yeah, we've got.
Yeah.
Luckily, they moved it now and they put previously owned cars on different tabs, so you don't see them all in the place. But actually, they were not even there at all for a while. The cool thing we noticed, something we haven't talked about, is that. Well, we won't talk about that now, but we'll talk.
Is that a separate video?
Yeah, I think so.
Got it. Okay.
Maybe when we take delivery of the next one. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
But there's a lot of cars on there. Yeah.
Manual says that active road noise reduction disables if there's a rear passenger in the vehicle. Sounds useless then.
It could be. I don't know.
That's kind of weird. Maybe that's just like the first iteration.
I don't know. Or somebody was saying, so maybe if it was so good, it would block out all their.
But that's what I want.
Yeah, if you have kids that are.
I don't want to hear anyone in the back.
Yeah, so I don't know. It remains to be seen. But there's something about the active noise reduction or cancellation that we want to do a video on, because we saw some things that are like unannounced.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
But we need to confirm that, and also once we get the new S, we can compare that to the Plaid and see has the hardware changed? Does the Plaid have extra, or does the new car have extra that the Plaid was missing?
Yeah. Robert said someone asked if they'll make the Plaid faster through software. I hope they do this for the Model 3 Performance. I'm ready for a little bit more power, but can't see spending $140 for a Plaid. Model 3 Performance feels slow after having it for a while. I mean, Model 3 Performance, having literally raced that car for quite a while, that car is so nimble compared to the S. The S, yes, is a little faster, obviously, because of Plaid, but the Model 3 is just so nimble. You can whip that around a track so much easier than a Plaid.
Maybe, Robert, what you should do is just put it in chill mode for a week and then turn chill mode back off, and then
it'll feel like complete fast.
Make sure it's not actually in chill mode right now.
Oh, that would suck. But yeah, hopefully they can bump up speeds just a little bit. Let's see. Answered that, got that, did that. Wow, cool. We're nailing a bunch of these questions out. Chris said mine was the second version. I had the first one replaced under warranty. I had torn, ugly seals back when Tesla would replace something for cosmetics.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well, at least you got the second version. That's good. Oh, wait. Did he have... I guess I read that as he had the first version replaced.
Oh, no, I don't know. He said mine was second version, so I think he got it.
So maybe it was a second.
Maybe they still had problems with those. Maybe that's why they don't offer it anymore. But I do kind of miss that because I'm not in that car as much anymore. But it was nice to have.
Yeah. Diego said, do you think Tesla will sell me a new center console like the style you did? I believe they've reopened that back up. They had some internal conflicts, and I think it's all gone now. Quick Ice Car Review said, any news on Cybertruck?
Nothing.
Unfortunately. No. Let's see. Someone said hi from France. Do you guys think we'll see a German Model 3 once Giga Berlin is finished?
Salut, Bibi. Comment ça va?
I don't know what you said, but cool. Yeah, I bet they'll start doing Model 3s there. I know they're going to start with Model Ys, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do Model 3s fairly soon too, because they're very similar vehicles. What?
I was just saying a German Model 3 too, so that would be a Deutsche Model 3. No.
Yes.
I'm having a little fun here in Germany.
I need to get up on my foreign languages. Helmut said 220,000 miles, 2017 Model X, no maintenance, only wear and tear, service done, suspension, front brakes, and AC. Happy so far. That is a ton of miles. I am super jealous. You've probably gone so many fun places.
One of our friends isn't a 2016.
2016.
And she drives it everywhere. It's like she has done so many vacations, and she has one of the original 2016 Model X's, and I don't think she's had any major. She had a couple problems, but nothing big. I know one was like the battery, but it's already like a 5-year-old car. But and we actually are still on the original 12-volt battery on that 2017.
Oh yeah.
So
yep. Dan is in chat. Welcome, Dan. Said sorry I'm late dealing with family things. I'm gonna have to watch from the beginning when it's uploaded. Yeah, definitely. Hope all is going well, Dan. Still on for January Model X, hopefully. Let's see. And Peter said our car registration's affordable for Tesla. It really varies by state,
where you live,
as Kevin mentioned, because Colorado, a Plaid Model S is about $3,000, whereas in places like Arizona at the current time is like
it's like
40 bucks a year.
Yeah. So it varies greatly.
Yeah. Michael said here in Sweden, I also threatened by service person when I asked if they could help me install a camera in the car. He told me that all warranty would be void if I installed this camera. What camera?
Yeah,
like a black view
dash cam. Yeah, and then
they don't.
And I don't know about the laws in Sweden for that, but the warranty laws here is they have to prove that your modification affected the car and damaged it. So in order to void the warranty. So I think they're just trying to threaten you. And if you kind of stood up to them or researched it, check with some other people there in Sweden, they'd be able to tell you that that's not the case. And especially because Europe has some really consumer-friendly laws, and so I don't think that would void the warranty there. Yeah. But definitely check with some locals to confirm.
Yeah. Robert said he's gonna go ahead and put the car and chill for a week in a mental reset.
Yeah, or at least a couple days.
That's really funny, actually. John said at the Tesla event he went to on Saturday, there was a Plaid there with the Plaid symbol on the roof, on the complete, on the wrap. I actually saw that car on, I think it was Twitter or Instagram. I didn't realize it was in Minnesota though. That's awesome. Mark said, I'm hoping they make a dual Plaid Cybertruck. Oh my God.
A dual Plaid.
That sounds so fun.
Maybe
so what,
dual motor,
each wheel has its own motor. So like the Plaid motor in the front as well as the back. Now we're talking.
Because doesn't Rivian have like 4 motors in their truck?
I think so. But that sounds fun. BB
said ça va bien, merci. Okay. So that
you guys got it.
Yeah, doing well. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Glad you're here, BB.
Diego said, "Have you guys read the report today about a few Teslas parked at the factory? I think China with a few different colors."
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Flyover. We'll have to go look and see.
Yeah, was that at Gigafactory Shanghai? Just to confirm, because he said I think China. We'll have to watch it. Dan said, I was told I will have the Model X long range before the end of the year because I agreed to switch from 7 to 6-seater.
Yep.
Morgan said you guys can pick it up for me when we are in.
Oh, it's at Puerto Rico. I don't know.
CL.
Oh, Costa Rica? No,
I thought it was like Costa Rica. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy to pick it up for you, and we will store it here and even live stream it for you.
We just got to make sure. I mean, if he wants to, we got to make sure you have all the paperwork. So hopefully, contact.
He said he already talked to Morgan.
Oh, up at the Superior. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a garage. So we got room for it.
They know me too.
The thing is, we're gonna have, unless we get ours too, we're gonna have like 5 cars. It's like,
we need to figure out.
We can park one over at my mom's or something. Yeah. Like that.
We've got room. Matt said, love you guys, love you back. Said, should I buy a Model Y now and sell the Model 3 or wait for the Gigapress new batteries on the new Model Y next year?
Yeah.
That's a hard question because I'm honestly under the impression right now the first Model Ys from Austin are not going to be having the 4680s or anything like that. Now, we've seen some videos with like cathode and anode boxes showing up at Austin, and it's like, that's suspicious. So I don't know if that's really what you want. I would probably wait to order until it's closer.
Yeah, but definitely I definitely think the Y is more versatile than I guess the 3, just because there's more cargo room, and we definitely like the Y. But if you don't need to upgrade, you might want to wait and see. But I would, if you definitely want that 4680 cells, I would wait for it, because
Wait for that announcement.
I don't think it's going to be coming soon, especially because we think the 4680s, they're going to be having to go to like the Semi and the Cybertruck, and the Y.
What about the Roadster?
And the Roadster, of course. But I know if they Model Y is their biggest seller, then maybe it would make sense to do that. But it doesn't make sense to me to get the Austin Gigafactory up and running on the 2680s, right? No, 20.
The 46.
No, the older cell, the current.
Oh,
cells.
the 20.
I'm forgetting
20,
right now.
it's not the 18650, not the 2170.
But anyways, you don't
know.
you don't want to do that and then switch it over in a couple months, because that's going to be
a lot of work.
Yeah. And so I think that they would keep it running that way for a while if they're starting up with 2170s, yeah.
Yep. Dan said it was chilly. We had the C right. We had the C right.
Oh, I don't think we.
But
okay,
I didn't realize it was like chilly. That's awesome. I expect a lot of photos. If we have to board your car, we want photos. That's all. Diego said he sent me the article. It has pictures, so I guess we'll have to watch that later. Michael said, so I guess you won't be surprised to know that I'm now driving a petrol Audi, the third that I have owned, 2 Audi A7s, and a fully spec'd A8. I mean...
Is he the one that's in Sweden, I think? Yeah.
That makes me sad, but you got to do what works best for you at the time and everything.
But they do have the Audi e-tron, check that out.
What does e-tron mean?
It means turd, right?
Turd.
Right to our friend BB there in France.
Can we get a confirmation, BB?
The e-tron.
Confirmation?
Oh, puppy cam.
Oh, puppy cam? Puppy cam. Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's
I got to restart the camera.
Oh, it might be too late, but basically, Layden's getting a bath there from Mr. Kit, but...
Oh. Okay, puppy cam is rebooting.
There
you
go.
go. Oh. Well, you saw the yawn.
Missed it by a second. Well,
but look at that cuddle.
And I'm
God.
Footstool too. Hey.
The cuddle fest going on over there. Oh. They're gonna go have dinner soon.
Yep, very soon. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Chris said I was talking to the guys at the service center about the paint. They said black has gotten better, but also takes the longest to prep for delivery. Maybe that's why the price went up. Maybe.
Yeah, I just remember when they had the obsidian black.
I like the obsidian
if
better
they're
than
charge
solid.
that much for black, that I
agree.
would wish it was more premium color like that.
I agree. I think we just crossed over the 2-hour mark, so we'll probably call it there. It's probably time for. Oh, hold on.
Dinner foods. Food.
Foods? Are we hungry?
Dinner. Who's hungry?
Dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep. It is time to go eat. So we will catch you all a little later. Oh, real quick though, I wanted to show you guys this.
Oh. Wait, show it to them and see if they know what it is first.
I don't know. Maybe some people have seen this.
Oh, what could that be?
It opens. It slides out.
Layden's very curious.
So we have a video coming on this. It's actually still in review. But this is kind of a cool product. This is actually the tail table. You hook it in, right, with like that little spot right there on your little hatch thing.
For like tailgating.
Then you have a table. And so that was part of my tweet today. I don't know if you saw it. Was it yesterday? I tweeted like how many people let people eat in their Tesla.
Oh, yeah. That was
and 61% out of 1,250 people said no way.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But we've been playing around with this a little bit. We'll have like full review coming up. But
this though, you can eat
kind of
outside your Tesla.
Well, exactly. And I'm not gonna lie, when we were using this, like last weekend, several people, you included, as well as Doug that was with us, spilt stuff. Luckily, it was outside of the car though, from the sandwiches, because they were kind of messy.
Oh yeah, those were very juicy
so,
sandwiches.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea, and I dig it. This is only like part of it. There's like a whole nother section here, there, and there's like a cutting board. And there, but we do have like full review on that coming up, so I kind of want to give you guys a sneak peek because I'm actually kind of excited for it. gets us out and about and allows us to not have to eat in the Tesla because I don't want food particles all over the place. But I think that's pretty much it. We'll probably go ahead and end it there. Huge thanks to everyone for the super chats. Again, not necessary, but greatly appreciated. And thanks to everyone in chat hanging out with us and helping answer other people's questions. Really do appreciate all you guys. But I guess that's pretty much it. If you guys are looking to accessorize your Model SX30Y, definitely check out our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. I'll link down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. All kinds of really cool accessories. I was on there the other day, and there's a lot of new stuff that I can't wait to play around with. So new stuff, hopefully coming very soon. But yeah, we should have a fun video or two this week. I don't think the tail table video will be ready this week. Maybe by Friday, maybe Monday. But we'll see you guys at the very latest next week for another live stream.